Notes today. I'm not even going to talk about anything else. I'm just going to do my notes. I keep saying I'm going to stay on track. I am Celeste, aka Joanna. I prefer Celeste. As soon as I get all my court stuff done, all of the background mess that has been done on my life, I will be going by the name Celeste. So those that are still dealing with the past and communications, just to confirm, communications with all energies from the past, because of the legal ramifications that have been done, all papers and documents should go to my lawyer, which I state on every one of my YouTube channel postings. So it should go there because it is a legal issue. Go to the authorities for your own confessions. I don't need them. Everybody is forgiven, and I've let go of everything with everyone. So just get on with your lives, and good luck with you and all your karma. Anybody, I don't need to meet with anybody. I want to get on with creating. Hello, sweetheart. I'm so happy. We're gonna do our clairs today, and we're gonna do a bit of practicing. And I want to share these really cool visions I've been having with my celestials. So yay! We're getting into the only way I can describe it is like celestial omni. So it's like the omnipresent celestial energies. So it's really, really exciting. I finally feel like I'm home. I finally feel like, my starseed energy is meshing. It's met the omnipresent. So I'm going to try and explain what I'm going through, but it's super cool and it's super out there. So I'm really excited. We're just talking about there's going to be some people wanting to get in touch with me and to kind of close up all past timelines, 0 to 3 to 4 and to 4D. As I'm entering into 5D, there's people behind me that have been trying to understand their karma and why they've chosen to do what they've done. There are still those that are trying to keep things from me. There are still those that are trying to get away with, taking inheritances and monies and properties and keep whatever they think is theirs. Entitlement to me, entitlement to my name, entitlement to whatever they think. That's their delusions. Nobody is entitled to any part of me. I am divorced, legally divorced since May 24. That was stamped through King's Court of Alberta. That's the only papers I've signed legally has been my divorce papers. I haven't signed anything with anybody, as I've talked about in all my videos, so please go back and watch my videos because my story has not changed. My videos have been vlogging my experience of what's been going on with the thefts and with the frauds that have been going on with my accounts, and of course the hate that goes on in the viral chat stream. So there are investigations going on. They are logging everybody's IP addresses. There's finally investigations that are going on. 20 people just signed on. So just know that everybody's IP addresses, the comments are being streamed. There are investigators and there will be charges and arrests made because they are hate crimes, and I do have my human rights and the liberties that people have been ignoring through these crimes that have been done against me and my lineage, and just because I am the voice of the Messiah, bringing forward divine creator experiences of where we're going with the divine creator's plan for humanity, for our galaxy. So it's really exciting. And those are just my excitements. I get to be excited about being who I am. I get to be a part of who I am in all ways. And so the creator is moving things, and the universe is helping move people out of the way and bring forward the whistleblowers that need to come forward, the evidence that needs to come forward. All of those things that are in the unseen and hidden are going to come up to the surface. And as you've seen, all 20 have just signed off. And so all of those are aspects of us that we're moving into a higher knowing of resonance as us becoming Omni. The more that we know about who we are, the more that we know about what we exist within, the more that we know what exists within us, then we become higher in consciousness. And that higher in consciousness is the integration of our light. Right? So we want to keep focusing on integrating light, creating that light wisdom, creating the light within who we are, within our breath, creating the light within our thought processes, becoming lighter, and because it's just that omnipresent resonance of us moving up. So the higher we go, the more in light we're going to be through thought, word, and deed. And thought, word, and deed is how we emulate and we pulsate out to creation. So we want those pulsations going out to be as light as possible, to be as authentic as possible, because as we're authentically who we are, we end up creating those authentic vibrations back so that the people that will be in front of us will be those authentic vibrational matches. Plus also know that in this movement through the natural order, say those energies to remind yourself every day. I just surrendered to natural order. Lord Michael, please support the chat room so that there's nothing going on with my throat chakra. I already feel the energies being thrown at my throat chakra. I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing. That's who I am. So I'm going to keep speaking on my divine speech of the Holy Mother and the Holy Father. Thank you, Cluedo. Just knock them all off for their. It wasn't. Most of them were negative, and most of them were bullying last time. So and Spirit did confirm that there are investigations going on, and the arrests will be made. So as I said in the spiritual realm, the guilty verdict has always been rung. So there will be a falling out of all of these things, and it's just up to the authorities as to when they're doing that. But they have all the evidence that they need. So the more that they do this is just evidence against themselves and more karma. So again, they're still not understanding or believing in karma, so that's fine. And so what we wanted to do is just confirm that anybody that from the past of all the crimes and everything that has been committed against me, the fabrication of my birth information, which the government knew. The governments were the only one that knew about my birth information and the birth documents. The government then fed it to the little secret minions and secret societies to do whatever they do. The direction of how to sabotage or block or impale me with magic and impale me with curses and hexes, along with the family that I had come from wanting to continually sabotage me with their magic because they just didn't agree with the light that I carried and the star seed genetics that I had. So there was a lot of hate and envy and jealousy. Those are all the demons and entities that are attached to all these people that will now be arrested. So the people that will be arrested will still be behaving and acting in their entity attachments because they have not cleared their attachments. They have not cleared the attachments and entities that will be on them. It's in them. It's in their spirit because they've been conjuring. So they are going to be, most of them are envy, jealousy, no sense of self. So the no sense of self is, all of their lack of self. They don't know who they are. They don't love themselves. They're self-loathing. So all of attached to them because they haven't cleared any. There are a couple that Spirit tells me that want to come and speak with me with regards to government agencies, the CIA and the FBI, any policing that wants to come and talk to me. You have to go back and read my videos and watch my videos first. Make sure you're doing your research. I don't want my time wasted. Everybody's had years and years and years to follow up on all of the spoon feeding that I've been doing. So everybody should have respect for me and my voice and where I sit in the realm of, energy, healer, leader, teacher, purveyor, guide, spiritual master. So from here on out, I'm going to be commanding that my time and my energy be respected, that my wisdoms be respected. If you do want to speak with me about collaborations, you do need to book an appointment. Those from the past, thank you. Those from the past that have anything that you need to give me because they were criminal offenses, again, the papers and the documents as to how much money was spent, how much money was taken, the houses and the properties and the mail, all of that stuff, because they were actual crimes, it does have to go through the lawyer. So you do have to send that stuff to the lawyer. If you're wanting, on the other hand, they wanted me to mention this, if you were involved in the 50 to the 135 people that were involved in, you can put that in your settings, I think. I don't speak Russian. No, but if you wanted, you can go to your settings and you can, I think, press whatever the setting language is, and then you can have it set to your language. I think that's how it's done. And then you can also slow down the speed and speed up the speed. It's in your settings. It's in that little icon that's in the corner. I think it's the top right. So thank you for your question. And so for those that were involved between the 50 and the 135, whether it was government, if you were on the peripheral, Area 51, and all of those, Project Stargates, MK Ultra, if you were the secret societies or you're the military or the people that follow me and stalk me in the coffee shop all nights of the day and night, it's illegal. It's not okay what you're doing. I'm calling judgment on you. All of these things, if you so choose to redeem your soul and make it right and stop doing what you're doing because it's illegal, stop doing what you're doing because you've been told to stop by Source Creator, by God. There's no reason to do what has been done to one divine feminine healer that has brought nothing but love and teaching and goodness to the planet and unconditional love and higher wisdoms. That was my role. That's who I've been. As I said in my last video, I'm unblemished. I've done nothing to anybody in any way. And even if I did, it still doesn't deserve what I've been through. So if they do want to make a donation, then that's fine. My PayPal is where we're going through donations right now. Hello, sweetheart. Thank you for joining us today. You're present. Hi, I'm here. Always running into class late. That's my Scotty. So just know that anybody that's been involved in the degradation and the bullying and the hate stuff about me and my life, because this has been a lifetime experience, it will all come out. There'll be books and stories made about me, because it's been very sad about the number of checks and balances that have been missed with the various aspects of abuse through government, financial, familial. The fabrication of the accusations, the fabrication of crimes, the fabrication of ID, my name, my birthplace, and all of those things that are still a big mess, and it's like a big chunk of mud. But God is saying that we can't go farther, we can't go into this fifth dimensional gateway unless we clear up the third and fourth dimensions. And there's still people right now, luckily, there's no more new lies. So everybody understands there's no more new lies. It's just a matter of clearing up all the old stuff. And so from here, if anybody, I love you too, Scotty boy, from here on out, anybody that was involved in the degradation of my life throughout any timeline, if you choose to redeem yourself and your karma, Spirit said that you can use it as a donation, and then it's up to your intention, your purity of intention with Source Creator to release you from whatever karmas. But that's between you and Source, right? If you want to do a donation, my PayPal is always there. So far, there's been a very limited people that have given me my donations. And there have been the loyal ones that follow me right from day one, because they've always known my heart. I've never had to prove anything to them. They've known my heart. And they will be protected by Archangel Michael right through the gates until they move into their 13th dimension. And so that was the blessing that they have been given me. And that's the blessing from God and Archangel Michael. So they will be protected in all levels and all ways, because they have fed me when nobody else did. I never had to validate myself with them. I never had to prove anything with them. They loved me unconditionally, and they've opened their heart for the highest vibrational healing. And they've been the seeds in my garden. So they will be moving through the gates with me. So I'm very, very happy to have those few. There's a few of them. There's 2 or 3. So I'd rather have, 2 or 3 than a whole bunch that just want to kill you and take you out and defame you. And I think there's stories about me being a porn person, somebody that has diseases that I spread everywhere. There's stories about me being a druggie, that I can't wipe my bum, that I need people to look after me. And so all of these stories and all of these defamations that have been made up about me are completely false. I haven't signed anything. I know, silly rabbits. I haven't signed anything except my divorce in the last 8 years. I don't, I've never agreed to anybody to use my work. My illustrations are my work. It's my copyright. It's part of who I am as my intellectual property. I will never sell it. I will, with those that I collaborate with, I will do a shared profit on the use of the illustrations. And that's the only thing that I will negotiate. And it will be a shared profit for the selling of the artwork and for the selling of the illustrations and for that intellectual property. But I will not sell the property. It is of my energy and my vibration, my downloads, as primordial as that might seem. But they work for me and they're coded for me. That's why anybody that has used my work, they're going to get negative karma, and they will be blocked from making any further money. And they'll just go into that negative karma because it is coded for me. It was my divine gift from God, from Source, for the creative collective. And I'm going to be growing on it and branching out, because that's what your codes do. When you're given a code that is directly aligned with your divine soul's blueprint, that's what I talk about, and that's what I give sessions for, is getting into deeper understanding and deeper play with your unique divine soul's blueprint. It's uniquely, authentically you. Nobody can copy it. Nobody can be it. Nobody can try and be it. Nobody can say they're you. Nobody can take your information and pretend they're you, because again, it's all about consciousness, and it's all vibrationally cataloged. It's cataloged within the Akash. It's cataloged within Mother, Father, God. That's why Mother, Father, God, and the channelers of the systems of light. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Commander Ashtar. They'll only give me certain words so that they know that I'm dealing, like I'm the only one that talks about the hybrid project, the hybrid allocation, all of those things. I'm given certain words by the systems, so that I can expand what I'm doing within the Tothic library, within the tablet library, within creational library, because I'm with the creator gods, the 9th, 13th dimensional creators. So I'm given certain words and certain energies. I'm given certain stories because now that they're those that have been investigating all of these crimes that are done with me, they'll know that when those certain words or certain terms come through, then it is an authenticity code. So it's just for me. Even if there's aligned readers that I portray on my platform, because my channel is still shadow banned. There's no sharing of my channel anywhere except with you, whoever chooses to share my work. So thank you very much. Those aligned readers will validate what I've said in the previous videos that I've put out myself. So usually when I'm putting out a video and I'm talking about my predictions, it will be usually mentioned a couple of days later or the next day for the aligned readers that I've established as aligned readers. And Source is working with those aligned readers as well. That's to validate the stories that are only between me and those people that are investigating what's happened to me, so that there is a congruence. Because there are some readers that are karmic readers and they're not bringing forward, proper information. And so the ones that I've shared as aligned readers, those are the ones that are bringing forward the words and the verbiage that will confirm my predictions, that will be after the fact, and so it's just a way of that information to continue its congruence, because it is truth, right? And we all know truth, that we're wanting you to be higher and higher vibratory on, discerning your own truth. Thank you, Holy Spirit. And so Spirit just wanted me to say that if there was anybody that was involved in the peripheral, you weren't doing the everyday attacks on me with black magic and voodoo and all of the things that were going on, if you weren't involved in the fabrication of documents and paperwork and false claims and false accusations, all of the big heavy criminal stuff, taking my work and calling it yours, taking my work and the intellectual property and saying that it's yours or you were a part of creating it. Nobody was a part of creating it but me, my editor that did my books, my 3 books. She only edited the first book. I did the second on my own, and then my illustrator, my art guy, and he and I don't work together anymore. He's a great guy. He has a band he works out of California. He's a musician, and so thank you to him. He was great help over the years. And other than that, there's been nobody else. It's just me and Source. As I say. This is what I do. This is just my work. This is what I do. So it's coded for me. So it's not going to serve anybody to take my stuff and call it theirs. They'll just be faking it. And of course, we all know those that have been with me forever. You can't fake consciousness, because the more that you're clearing out those soul fragments and you're calling in whatever soul fragments that are coming up for you, and you're integrating them as part of your experience. As part of your experience, you'll know that you're gaining in your consciousness, because you're having that soul fragment become a part of you, just as I've said in previous sessions. When I had to integrate that very challenging Arcturian, landing back in the 1950s, that was probably, there's been a lot of hard ones, but that was probably the hardest one, because I saw them actually, cut open the celestial, and that just broke my heart, because the celestial, they're so loving, and that's what we're going to talk about today, how unconditionally loving the celestials are, and how I feel, because they're my family, and they're the only ones that really love me, that love me, like my guides, when they say they love me, I feel it, like they love me. When they say they love me, it's like it brings tears to my eyes, because there's not that here on in the physical, and it's been very harsh, people trying to make me stop talking, and people projecting their hate at me 24 hours a day from the time I'm a kid up to an adult. And now that I'm an adult, all these stories are actually coming forward, and I'm actually seeing the physical, tangible proof of it, and how these people behave behind closed doors, and how they behave in front of your face. They want you to believe that they're on your side and they're playing both sides, and yet behind the screens, they're doing everything they can to take you out and to not have you be here, or to have whatever you've been in devotion to become theirs, because they want that fast pill and they don't want to work for it. And they don't really have the consciousness to do anything different. That's just what they are. So you can't even be mad at it, because their consciousness is just not there. They're living in self-loathing, so they want to take what they can from what other people have gained. And so, as I said, I've forgiven everybody. I still have to process the disappointment and the betrayal. I still have to process every day hearing about how people that I grew up with and people that were around me didn't just despise me. They wished they were hexing me right from birth. But this also too had to do with the government. So the government has been involved and the government has not been accountable. Apparently the guy that comes and stalks me every day that I put the pictures on the YouTube, as soon as I leave, 5 minutes later, I'll just poke around, I'll like hide, and then I'll see him leave. So he's only there because I'm there, because there's times where I go and leave, and then a few minutes later, I'll see him leave. And then he'll come back later on in the day and then sit there and stalk me. And Source did confirm that he is with the government. So there's things going on behind the thing and behind the scenes and behind the doors and all the secrecy. It's silly. It's like ridiculous. It's like immature. It's so kindergartenish, because people think they're all in hiding, and it's not. You're not a leader if this is what you do. You're not tangible, quality intellectual people that will be held as noble men and noble women, leading a new collective into higher vibrational timelines and higher vibrational realms. That's not what you will be known as. You will not be known as this. And so it seems to be a waste of money and a waste of time and a waste of energy to have these little toy-like games of human hunting. And that's how it's felt to me. I was used for my gifts. I was used for my skills. I was used to see what I can understand and sort out with absolutely no contact with anybody whatsoever. That was the intelligence that I work with, right, with Source. Everything that I've done and everything that I've created has been on my own intelligence with Source, moving in the navigation of how to lead and how to communicate and how to transform and transcend such hate, whether it be technological warfare, spiritual warfare, energetic warfare, emotional and mental warfare. It doesn't matter what that warfare came and what was packaged like. I because of my sense of self, because of my connection with Source, because of my harmony with Source, which I'm teaching all of you to do, all of the connections and the harmony and the relationship and the alignment that I have with Source was the only reason why I made it as far as I did. And again, Source had to bring me back 4 times. So there was a lot of damage done in their work on me. It wasn't with me, it was on me, because they had no permissions, they had no invitation, of course, right? They sold me how many times to the underground? And who knows about the selling back and forth to covens? This is why they have such entitlement, because the cults and the covens in these historical lineages, that's how their families and histories have kind of run themselves, as cults and covens of ownership of the children in the family. And so all of these things are just, they have to wake up. And this is part of my role in being used as bait. I was used as bait by God because I was the only one that could read the energy at the various dimensional threads that I can. I go in and I pierce and I can see the vibrational psyche energies. I read the psyche stories, and then I can bring it forward as, collective stories, so that we can suss it out, and how many others have been going through certain things too, that the only thing they can put their finger on is that something's not right, something's not okay. If you understand creational laws, if you understand law of manifestation, you understand all these beautiful laws, and you're the best, highest version that you can be, your karmic cycle should only last 7 years. It should not be 50 years. So there's a lot going on, and there's a lot wrong. There's a lot wrong. At 50 years, it's nothing but a lifetime of continual sabotage, continual breaking, continual poverty, continually being lost and left, continually being damaged and betrayed. These are not normal things that should continue your entire life. Especially if you're living a good life, especially if you're living with giving back 24 hours a day and all you do is give, and you're serving spirit and you're aligned with spirit, you're doing all the right things. There's something going on, and it's fucked up. There's things going on around the scenes. And that's when you need your alliance with Source Creator, Alliance with Light, which is the title of my 4th book. In the Alliance with Light, you'll be told exactly what's going on and why, the energies that you called in for your soul's blueprints, so that you can understand from various angles of the various psyche fragments, the dodecahedron, all of these are soul fragments, so that you can understand the stories on why 4 or 5 years ago I had to go back and do those very dark realms, because there was other things I had to learn in the dark mystery schools, if you will. So I had to learn and bring those energies forth and those gifts and skills forward, so that when I'm in a position of leadership, I know how to use the energy to manifest higher vibrational experiences. So sometimes you do need that darker catalyst to pull in and use in your alchemy. You don't use it to anybody, and that's the mastery that I have, and that's the mastery that you have to earn. Again, you cannot fake being a master. You cannot fake being of higher consciousness. You cannot fake going through and facing however many demons you face and knowing how to navigate them all and knowing how to still stand every day and say what is the highest and the greatest good for people as you're offering them a collective message. Whereas there is fake readers, well, they will offer what they're offered, or they will be paid by certain government bodies, they'll be paid by certain specks of elite society so that they can get their general message. It's a forcing of a narrative. It's not the truth. It's not the collective energy. It's not downloaded by source. They're collective swaying to get the energy into whatever stories they want. Again, it's about control. It's not about truth. And then so you have to wonder, is this truly leadership, or is it selfish gain for their agendas? So again, they're going to be dealing with karma. It doesn't matter how you doesn't matter how you sway it, doesn't matter what you call it, whether it's an agenda, whether you call it whether you call it MK Ultra, whether you call it a coven or cult that wants to do their selfish insurance scams, whether you call it the divine masculine not choosing to heal and sells their children to the underground and black web to get money from them. It doesn't matter what psyche wound that you have. If you're not alchemizing it, it will sit there and that karma will stay there. And I will read it on your soul. I will read it on your soul as to the deeds that you've done to keep people in confusion, the deeds that you've done and the spell work that you've done to keep court cases in delay, the spell work that was done to keep mail and documents and people, going the wrong way because you wanted your selfish outcome and you didn't want to be seen for who you were being seen as, and I can read it. And even if I don't read it, because obviously I'm only one person, right? I'm only one person, and God, because God is God and Source is God, and Source wants everybody to see the stories for the collective benefit on many of the things that we're going to be learning from my personal discrimination case, just as Jesus was that the various plane of the abuses of energy, the various planes of the distortions of energy and information and guidance of God, about God, of energy, in energy, of energy, and how people use it and misuse it and abuse it, and all the various distortions from the beginning of time up till now. So that was the divine feminine energy that I brought forward as the Messiah, the divine feminine. The divine feminine Messiah is all about the intuition, right? It's about who we are as a divine being of Holy Creator. So in my story as being divine feminine, we're going to talk about that today, is using our clairs and using our gifts and skills and talents as the highest vibrational option and opportunity that we are. Because the divine masculine is all about, is it tending that will? And then the divine feminine is just softening and allowing the flow of the energy of the story. So that's how you read, is just allowance. And that allowance is the divine feminine energy. So the divine feminine energy allows you to navigate all that is intuition, all that is discerning of your feeling, discerning of your harmony with spirit, discerning of your harmony with the dark and the light, discerning of your harmony with whatever's being told to you is just a facet of one story, but you got to get to the core of it, and that's your intuition. And your intuition is all about allowance. So just know this. We're going to talk about this today with our clairs. So in just closing up everything about my past, because I don't want to talk about it every single time I come on here, because I want to have more of my time being spent on new energy, right? I don't want all of my time on my videos to talk about the abuses where people are just refusing to be common, basic human spirited beings. So many of them have refused to do right. They don't care about their soul. They don't care about the evolution of their soul. They don't care about the lineage and the karma that they've dumped on their children and their lineage. And so that's up to God to deal with them. It's sad to me that people don't care about what they're doing to their children. They don't care about the lies they've told their children. They don't care about, the government doesn't care about how the 50 years of lies has done to my soul. The government doesn't care about the constantly looking over my shoulder at the stalking and at the people that are constantly, I have to stay 10 steps ahead. The PTSD that I have to deal with on a daily basis, the time away from my children that have been necessary so that they could, be as safe as possible. Because there's people constantly stalking me and setting me up to be sabotaged and to be taken out and to be stalked and spied on illegally, and to have all of my private life that's not private at all to be taken into another realm of distortion by my ex and everybody he was dealing with in the coven, to be totally ripped apart and to be complete. So it doesn't matter how beautiful I felt about myself as a goddess and how beautiful I was holding my celibacy. I was holding it very sacred. Because it was my work with spirit. It was my devotion with spirit to make myself as high vibrational as possible. And to really truly honor that in the gift of whoever was ordained with me with Source is to have it shared in that respectful way with a sacred husband or a sacred partner, which is still my wish. But it doesn't matter how much sacred things I did to heal myself and self-love myself, even though I was brought up in a very toxic, dysfunctional family. And divine feminine were not seen as, valued and respected. So I did a lot of work. I did a lot of healing work to bring myself to this level. And then to have my ex and his cult and coven rip apart my reputation and my soul being and the spirit of who I was, as giving as I was to my children, as giving as I was to everybody in reality, within just, a matter of years, it was all ripped up and thrown to shit, and then crimes built against it and then sold in the black underground. So I have to process all this. I have to process how beautifully I held myself, because their stories don't make up who I am. I do, but I still have to clear that energy. And, I have to clear that on an energetic level. Even though they did it, it says more about them than it does me. But there's still accusations and the false claims and the financial mess that I have to clean up, the financial mess that weighs on me. They've done it intentionally and with malice. None of them have come forward to make things right. None of them come forward to bring truth and clarity to all the lies that have been told, and that includes the government. The government, as far as I'm concerned, are, as malicious cowards. They have not done anything that have been of integrity. They have not cared 1 ounce. They have not cared 1 penny towards the damages that have been done to a spiritual Messiah. And it's really sad when you think about the people that are supposed to be leaders of country, the people that are supposed to be leaders of the people that are making good way for higher vibrational schools and education and systems and all of these great programs. But what have they done to the Messiah? What have they done to the divine feminine that men in the 5D experience will be protectors of life? The divine masculine will be a protector of divine feminine. There's been nobody protecting me, not on any level. The banks, when people went in to go sign checks for my name to take money out, they're living in my houses, they've got my mail. There's been nobody protecting the sacredness of my name and who I am as a divine heavenly being. Nobody. Not even a little bit. I mean, not even if it, take away the fact that I am a Messiah, I'm of the royal lineage, and I'm the only one left. It is me, it's it. As I said, there's very many special things that God has given this divine human earthly collective, and people are just so misinformed and they're ignorant and they don't see it and they don't care. That's how disconnected they are with spirit and source and God. And the church and state are responsible for that. They've kept the sacredness of spirit, they've kept the sacredness of God in such dogmatic separation and such dogmatic war against each other and such dogmatic separations of where somebody's born and where somebody's not born, what church they go to and what church they don't go to, or who speaks the word of God and how they speak the word of God. Love is. And the Messiah is brought to us in many different forms based on however God's plan is going to go forward. That's up to God. It's up to nobody to say, and question and all that doubt. Yes, there are many Messiahs based on how God wants the story for humanity to heal judgment, to heal discrimination. Jesus was killed and crucified because of discrimination. It was the dogmatic discrimination of his representation and his speech of God. He had every right to it. Jesus had every right to his speech of God. Who is it to anybody to say any one person before they knew Jesus was Jesus? But who is anybody to say you don't have a right to speak about God that way? Well, you go away and speak about God that way. If you don't want to hear that speech about God, then go to somebody else. But that person can speak about God however they want. There is on the planet a general misunderstanding, misconception, misguidance with actual deities, Satan, Lucifer. They're still God, it's still source creator. The deities that people conjure and chant to for power and for all of these domination things and for all these manifestation things, they're not understanding. It doesn't matter what you want to conjure or pray to or sacrifice to. It is all about your value of self. And if you don't get it, and if you're not getting the ascension lessons, you're not getting it. If you're not getting the ascension lessons, all of your karmic energy, all of your karmic beliefs, all of your karmic wounding, all of your karmic nonsense of hell self, all of your karmic dogmatic, I'm better than you and you're better than me and I'm going to win, and it's only the men that can talk about God, and whatever your beliefs are that are misogynistic and low vibrational and about the lowest vibration of 3D earth that can be. Probably less than 3D. It's like a 2D belief system. If that's what you feel and if that's what you think, then that's where you're going to stay. Because your belief is holding you in that vibrational pattern. You're never going to get out. You're going to keep manifesting karma because that's the pulsation you're sending out to reality. How can it be any different? If all you're doing is vibrating better than less than, if all you're vibrating is, I'm going to take your work and call it mine because I'm too lazy to do my own work. I don't know who I am. I don't want to know who I am. I just want to steal other people's stuff. So again, that's all you're pulsating out is just thievery. So it doesn't matter how you try and cloak it. You can go out and get a brand new suit, and you can get something from Gucci or from wherever you want to get your suits from, and you can go and study the latest thing on awakening. You go and study the latest thing on enlightenment. And you can bring it forward in whatever you want to bring it forward in. The core vibration of you is still lying. And I'll read it. And then I'll say it on my YouTube channel, and then I'm the one that's getting attacked for it because I'm actually calling out what's going on. So how is that a problem? Perhaps you all start acting like, like normal, beautiful beings and start getting healed because you're acting like criminals. And if you act like criminals, what does that do? And you're going to keep acting like criminals, keep taking out the women, keep suppressing the women. You're going to have no life. You're going to have no abundance, and you will go into extinction. So again, we can go around the circle as many times as anybody wants. I can take every government employee that has ever screwed me over, and we can go over everything that they have done, and we can go around the infinity, and I can tell them exactly where they'll end up in 5 years. If they do not change and make right what they have done, they are given an opportunity to change and make right. They will not be given 5 years. I'm telling you that right now. The timelines are up. The dates are over. The time is up. It's over, over, over. You're not given any more time, and there's no more mercy. You're not given 5 years to make something right. This has been going on for 50 years. You know exactly what you're doing. If you're of benevolence to the creative collective, if you're doing of goodwill to the creative collective, it is in the highest and the best, and you're not abusing any of the social laws and the human laws and universal laws and spiritual laws. These are basic common sense. Do unto others. If you're doing MK Ultra technological warfare, shutting down my chakras, if you're impaling me on an everyday basis and paying cults and covens, which you have been, government, you have been. If you're not paying them anymore, you still are culpable for everything you have paid them up to this point. Because you have been paying them. It is still a guilty verdict. You have been paying them to abuse me. There's been no signage, there's been no permission, there's been no authority. And God said, enough, you will not do this to thine daughter. God is showing you in every way, and I've been asking, and I've been guiding, and I've been spoon feeding you. Everybody involved will continue to get karma. Your flow of income will be shut down. Your flow of benevolence will be shut down. Your flow of love will be shut down. Your flow to your families will be shut down. Everything will be shut down until you get it. You will not walk away. You will not pretend that this has just been an oops. Sorry. You're not going to walk away saying, oh, she's the one that's crazy. No, that's just going to get you more karma. So say whatever you're going to say and do more magic and do more schemes and do more plotting and send more diseased boys to me to see if I'm going to sleep with them, to see if I'm going to slip up, to see if you're going to put poison in my food, whatever it is that you think is your next scheme, because all you're doing is you're rotating on the same dark ass cycle, same karmic cycle. We haven't seen it 150,000 times before because that's all you do is the same warped ass misogynistic systematic abuse. You're still trying to deconstruct me spiritually, mentally, emotionally, all of those things. So keep doing what you're doing. You can gather more of your satanic crew and more of your Luciferian crew. They're still all Source. Source still has final say. My karma has been 10 times paid over. Source will not allow more dark ass, negative, toxic, dysfunctional, destructive, defamation. Source will not allow anything else to touch me. Because my karma has been paid 10 times over. I should have already been ascended by now. I should have already been gone by now. I should have already been on another planet by now. I should have already been doing a lot of other things. I should have been living my best life if I chose to stay on the planet, because it was my choice to stay. I should have already been living my best life, but I'm living homeless and in poverty. Thank God to the only few people that have donated. There's the only reason why I eat is because of my few people that donate to me. And these people feel so hateful about that. And they go home and they feel so like a failure because they didn't get those last couple of people, and they weren't going to attack those people so that those people wouldn't give to me, because their intention and their job is to make sure that nobody gives to me. Now, whether the government incites it and the government directs them to do these things, or whether it's just from the inside of the cult and coven because they're so envious and they're so jealous, it doesn't matter. Everybody in that 50 to 135 that were involved from my birth till now, everyone is equally guilty as far as I'm concerned. Because you all took money, you all took directive, you all knew what was going on day by day, because my videos prove it. I have, as God has shown me, to vlog every experience. I have vlogged it. Go back to my videos, do your research. Do your homework. Go look at the papers put through King's Court, Calgary for my divorce. Look at the financials, and then you'll start to see the lies that have been taking place that I called perjury on, and nobody did anything about it, nobody cared. You're still going to find perjury. There's still lies. And I'm not a lawyer. I called both of those lawyers out. And now I'm the crazy one. I'm not crazy. These are these people deflecting their misogynistic, warlock and witchery, absolutely sociopathic tendencies because they're not healed. They've done so much black magic. They've done so much voodoo and so much conjuring. They have no idea who they are. And their mental capabilities are degrading. I've never been the crazy one. I'm the genius one. I'm probably more than all of you put together. I'm just talking about those ones that have been abusing me. My clients that come on to learn greater things, I'm not talking about you. You know I never am. I'm talking about those that intentionally abuse. I'm talking about those that are on the right side of justice that are here to investigate. I've spoon-fed everybody. There is more than enough evidence to take these people and bring them into arrest. It's not okay that I get stalked and spied on every day when I've said stop. You're only going to find a divine feminine healer that studies, that writes, that channels, that prays, that talks to nature, that moves little wormies, and I give healing to everybody that talks to me. That's all you're going to find because that's who I am. And I've been this way since day one. You're not going to find anything. You're not going to see me freak out and push people and hurt people. I don't hurt people. I am unblemished in my lifetime here. But everybody cannot say that about their actions towards me. It's been nothing but lies, defamations, deceits, fabrications of information that are criminal beyond all criminality. And it will be proven in the highest criminal court. Now, if you want to close this out and you want to settle this, you should have already done it already because it's 3 years past the date. But you know, source creators just love. Source is all about love. If you want to put together a deal and your highest deal, you're not going to lowball me and you're not going to think you're going to bring me a deal that's my, again, what we said at the very beginning, my intellectual property is my intellectual property. There was never permissions, there was never authority, there was never signatures. I have not been involved in any discussion about my work going to anybody but me. I haven't made one penny from anybody. If there's people using my work behind the scenes, fake AI pages, pilfering my videos, which we show it on YouTube, YouTube corruption, it's shown. I show it. All of those people that have been making money off of me, my predictions, my energy, elite soul harvesting, my videos, my illustrations, my books, my content, all that is my ascension work that has been a devotion for me for eons and lifetimes. It is worthy of me. It's coded for me. I deserve to fucking receive. I should not be sitting homeless. I should not be afraid for my life every time I go in and out of anywhere. And I'm not, because God has assured me I'm got wrapped. Lots of energies that are wrapped around me and nothing will happen to me. They are walking me through every stage. Nothing will happen to me because God knows, the universe knows, the legions know that I was used as bait. So it's not fair if I'm used as bait that I get hurt. I was used as bait to pull out the most corrupt people in North America that are also threaded through this global connection and organization of hate crimes and underground black web crimes and RICO crimes. And most of the lightworkers that I've had on my channel that I've said are aligned readers have also been attacked, but not as deep as I am because of my lineage and because of who I am as the Messiah. And the governments have known this. The governments knew. And they set up agendas to purposefully attack me, because if it wasn't negative and it wasn't malevolent, then there would be things already sorted out by now. There would have been deals already made by now. There would have been apologies already made. I would have had my birth documents. I would have had my travel documents, and we would have all been on copacetic signs. We would all been on how's it going? But it's not. Nothing's been resolved. Nothing's been given to me. Everything has been denied. Everything has been still fabricated, still left unattended to. There's been zero care for human life. And that's what makes me so sad. These people in leadership roles, they don't care that they're abusing the laws, technology warfare, all that they have done to starseeds, to highly autistic people, that we are affected by everything. We feel everything. They don't care. They know that autistic and high empathic and highly psychic people are highly affected by all of the things that they're doing. They don't care. They don't care. So then you say, why are you even leaders? It's like having a teacher that hates kids to go and teach kids. Well, why would you be a teacher? You hate kids. The kids come home. I can't tell you the number of times that the children have come home and said, boy, they shouldn't be teachers. It's laughable now. Well, why are you a teacher? You hate kids. Why are you in government? You hate people. I mean, there's basic common sense. These are common sense. These are basic, very basic, human rights laws, the liberties that make a country, the liberties that make saying I can walk outside safely, and I can walk outside and say there's absolutely, I love living here. This is the most beautiful country. I can live here, and I can bring my wisdoms and my intentions and my intellect from the highest of the heavens, and I can heal people, and I can create things, and I can bring the highest wisdoms of intelligence and say we can do this, we can do this, we can do this, we can help here, we can help here, we can help here, we can help here. I can inspire people to clear out their chakra systems and clear out their fields and align with their highest light and bring in their highest health. There's no more sick people. The children are fed. The land is fed. The soil is nice and rich. The waters are flowing. The waters are clean and clear. And this is a problem. And I'm the one that's attacked and called crazy. And these are the things that at the end of the day, I have to make sense and I have to process. Because I came here with a promise to Mother, Father, God, and my celestials that I'm on behalf of every celestial system of light. I'm on behalf of the Syrians. I'm on behalf of the Arcturians. I'm on behalf of the Andromedans. I'm on behalf of the Lyrans. I'm on behalf of the Cassiopeians. I'm on behalf of everybody that is higher vibrational, that is celestial, of this universal family, where humanity doesn't seem to think that they're a part of anything, and they just treat each other like crap, because that's what their leaderships have told them to do and guided them to do, because they don't care about the people. Where is the connection anywhere in our country? Where's the connection? There's misinformation and misguidance around every cult and what God and Source is. There's miscommunication, there's misguidance, there's misinformation, and it's wrong. If people are doing what they're doing and thinking they're going to get ranking and clout, and they keep doing what they keep doing because it pays them. They're getting paid to kill people. They're getting paid to do spell work on people and rip out their souls, their spirits, their emotions, their finances, and they're swarming into those people that they're targeting. They're swarming into the people they're hunting. They're swarming into the people with great light. They're swarming into the people with great starseed energy. They're swarming into the people with great starseed DNA. They have people that study the DNA. They have people that study who they are online. They have people that study where they go and what they've come from, study their lineage, study their DNA, like who they're spawning. All of these things are studied, and then they're put agendas in, and then we're slotted into little things about what are we going to do to them today? What are we going to make sure we're going to do? How are we going to get, what obstacles are we going to place in front of them? We're followed and we're stalked and we're studied and we're tested. My life has not been my life. It's been nothing but the Truman Show. Nobody's told me, no fabrications, no signatures, no permissions. There's been nothing. I'm a grown full adult. I haven't agreed to any of this. None of this has been agreed upon on any level. And they know that there is enough evidence, there is enough tracking through the computer systems. Doesn't matter if they have Secret Service, height, the maximum security, it doesn't matter. And they go and erase it all. God will make sure that there will be evidence where there needs to be made evidence, because God knows, God knows, God knows. And if God wants to bring any program that has been so degrading to humanity and to the celestials, and to incite violence, to incite separation, to incite hate, to incite attacks, to incite human hunger with each other and the black web, any of these degradations that have been brought separation and discrimination to humanity, that is already trying it hard to find self-love within itself because of all the distractions of church and state. And if these agendas continue, and they have done so every day, and you're actually paying warped ass cults and covens to keep doing attacking and to keep trying to get out of their crimes, and then the local police look and turn a blind eye because they know it's going on and they know people are getting paid, where the fuck is my justice on any level, in any way? And Source Creator will make sure, make no mistake about this, and I say it with great pause, write it down on your investigative journals. God will make sure across all heavens, across all nations, across all realms, across all tables, across all tablets, across all phones, across all papers, there will be evidence brought forward, even if it's at the last second, and it will be so tangible it will nail everybody to the wall. Make no mistake about it, because God is. Right from the invisible to the visible, right from the unseen to the seen, right from the heavens to here I am. And I'm a high vibrational being, dear lighted ones, and I'm not going to stop, and I'm not going to go backwards. I'm not going to crawl into your little box. I will never be what anybody wants me to be. I will be what I want to be. Period. Point fucking blank. There's been a lot of damage done to my soul and my spirit, and you will walk with it, and you will have it weighted on your soul however you choose, because you're choosing to sit with it. You're choosing to make wrong with it. You're choosing to make fabrication with it, and choosing it just to cover it with more lies. Cover it with more lies, scapegoat more of the little minions in the cults and the covens that the governments have chosen to do. And that's why I said a long time ago, go to the authorities and give your truth, because the ones that are above you that have paid you aren't going to have your backs. These governments and these organizations and these private profiting people that have made a lot of money off the innocent and have done absolutely nothing to make it right. Nobody understands the suffering that I have gone through, the PTSD that I have to still heal from every day, the isolation from my children, the isolation from basically everything, because they don't want me to be seen or heard by anybody because I carry codes. I carry the highest codes of the amalgamation of the entire heavens. There's been nobody walk this planet like I am, like I do. And that has nothing to do with anything to do with other than spirit, and I am soul infused. I get it, and I know, and that's why nobody can say they copy me, and nobody can say that they're my stuff, and nobody can say that they know my stuff. Nobody can say it. They can't. They're not the vibration. They never will. They never will be. I've earned it over many lifetimes. You will never get another one of me. And I'm here to bring up these starseed children as authentic and genuine as they can be in who they are, because they are also the messiahs. But everybody is so disconnected because they have no spiritual connection and no spiritual harmony, because they're misguided and they're low vibrational in their knowledge about life and the quantumness of the omnipresent God. Everything is spirit and everything is energy. It has a story and I can read it, and I'm not going to play small. So throw your magic all you want. It's just more for you, for you, for you. Your magic goes back. Your judgment, judgment, judgment. Everybody that throws spell work and hate because you get paid to hate me. So then you're going to get more karma. It will only be more karma because that's the only outcome for your actions. That's your outcome. So it doesn't matter if you're in the government. It doesn't matter if you're in the bank. It doesn't matter if you were the photoshopper. It doesn't matter if you were the one fabricating my birth story. It doesn't matter who you were in the story. You're still guilty. And it will weigh on your soul, and the karma is going to show you every day everything that goes in your life that is seemingly wrong, or weighted, or a problem, or an obstacle. You will feel as I have felt for the last 50 plus years, where all I have done is give love and healing. And everywhere I walk, I sing because I enjoy, and I absolutely, absolutely am devoted and delighted by what God puts in front of me. And that's my story with God. That's my only secrecy with God, is because even though things go shitty on the outside, God will always place something in nature, something that is magical, something that is mysterious, something that is a celestial, something that's a light ship, because that's my story with God. And God knows it delights me. And it just heals me a little bit more because I'm only here for a temporary period. I'm here to help humanity. And there will be many in humanity that actually want the energy and that actually want the codes and want to understand more and want to see more and want to explore more, because I am a mirror of you. That was the whole point, people. You can feel envious and jealous all you want, but I am just a mirror of you. So what does that say? That says we're one. So how about you stop hating and how about you start healing? Because I will never be your problem. I am speaking of what is going on. That's truth. And you will not take me out, and you will not kill me, and you will not sacrifice me because I speak truth. It's against all universal laws. That's why you will never be successful. You will be put against the wall on however your karma will bring your deliverance. That is quantum law. And all of you are being delivered it. So either you wake up, you are celestial, you are alien, you are dynamic, you are light, and you're going through your shadow right now. So either you're going to integrate your shadow, and you're going to sort out why you do what you do, and start feeling self-love, and start feeling self-design, and start feeling self-important, and start feeling who you are and who you are. Divine feminine are equal on this planet. Get over it and start healing. Divine feminine will be leaders. Divine feminine will be teachers. Divine feminine will be medicinal herbal shamans. And we will arise and lift the children and everybody that wants to come with us. Because we are about unity, peace, and everlasting eternal life, dear lighted ones. You either want extinction or eternal life. You choose your E. You choose it. I don't care. The more you come on and the more you hate in your everyday moment, and the more you take money for hating, and the more you take money to feel separate, and the more you take money for a deity to give you false power, it will never be. It's an illusion. You don't know what you're doing. You're misguided. You're misinformed, and it's wrong. Go study quantum law. That deity is going to give you a little taste of something for maybe a minute or an hour or two, and you're still going to have to go back to the same core reason. Who are you? What's your wounding? The only reason why you're reaching out to a deity is because you have no sense of self within yourself. You don't know who you are. That's why you're envy. That's why you're jealous, and you're going to have those entities attached to you until you heal it. I'm a Psyche master, dear lighted ones. I'm a healer. And God has given me this onto my tongue to create life if I so choose upon this planet, to create judgment if I so choose to whomever crosses my path. And this is why I'm placed before those people, because Anubis has the scales of every lifetime you've ever lived. And we will read thy soul. And we've given infinite opportunities, haven't we? 700, it's about 700. 700 opportunities in just our speaking through our videos. Every thought, word, and deed is your own making and your own redeem. You either choose to redeem it or not. If you don't care about your next lifetime, if you don't care about your next incarnation, if you do not care what you pass down to your children, ignorance and wrong information and wrong guidance about what you think you are, and if you're going to come back and not at all, if you're going to have a body or not at all, those are all things that you need to sort out and suss out, because that's your evolution. You're not guaranteed a next incarnation. This is the last 3D timeline. You will not and you cannot pop into a 5D consciousness. You have not earned it. You do not get 5D consciousness. 5D consciousness is not linear. It's not separative. It is fully unified. 5D is fully unified. 5D is fully unified within your divine feminine, your divine masculine energies. So if there's great discrimination within you and great misogyny and great bigotry, you might want to begin there, because nobody deserved your hate, because you have wounds within you that you refuse to heal. You have wounds within you about your sexual orientation, about your sexual repressiveness and suppressiveness, and people have been harmed because of it. And the people in the cults and the covens, if you go home every day and you pretend that people are not going to see who you are, there will be a matter of time where all of the layers of the onion will be peeled and there will be nothing standing there but you. And you will still have to stand in front of every mirror that will be ever posed to you. Like people like me, I am a mirror. And I will stand in 100% truth until you see who you are. And I will call what I will call. That is my role. That is my job. And I will not stop being me, because you feel uncomfortable in your lies. Then perhaps you stop hiding in secret. Perhaps you stop being secret. Perhaps you come forward with truth. And perhaps you heal what is going on within you, because it's nobody outside of you, it's you. And then you won't be called a criminal, and then you won't be put in jail, and then you won't be charged, and then you won't have to go to court and waste your money in court and finding new people that you can do new spell work on, and finding new people to try and find that you want to get on your bandwagon of hate and trying to take somebody else out. Because you're not gonna. Your cars will be stopped, the ancestors will stop you, you're acting like children in a playground, you're acting like bullies, and you're never ever gonna, not in a billion evers, you're not gonna ever take out those star seeds. You're not going to take out me. It's going to be stopped every time you get in your car to try and come for me. It's going to be stopped. Because there's been enough egregiousness, there's been enough defamation, there's been enough exploitation. It's been enough. And somehow, some way, you're going to get just enough karma where you will wake up one day and say, what the hell was I doing? Because the magic will wear off, your spells will wear off, all your sex magic that's been returned to you, and all the backfire that you're going to have to deal with and eat. Because you're going to have to transmute it just like I had to transmute all your hate. And I don't transmute it just because of that one person that's working in their kitchen in their little dumbass spell work, because they think they want to affect somebody because they don't know who they are. Because you don't know who you are and you're misusing energy, you're misusing magic. Just because you want to get something and have something or have someone, that's not how you gain a soulmate. You will never gain a soulmate by magic. You won't. They will leave you as quickly as they come. And so they should. Sit with your karma. You're not going to enforce somebody to be in your energy because you miss them, because now you're awake to something and now you care about them, because now that God has shown them that they're somebody that carries merit, there's somebody that carries importance, there's somebody that carries intelligence, there's somebody that carries great ideas. Have you stolen them and taken them behind her back and tried to make money off them while you've told her to her face nothing that she's going to do is ever going to amount to anything? You've told her that she's nothing to her face while you go and steal her work behind her back. And you make money off it while she's sitting fucking homeless. Cowards. You deserve the karma that you sit in until you wake up and see. I was never your issue. I came with unconditional love and attention and ideas and energy for everybody that took off of me. And I haven't received anything but the ones that follow, and they are the seeds of my garden. And they will have free gateway through any gate they want to go through. Forever. Forever. I never had to validate myself to these people, ever. I didn't have to explain myself once to these people. They are my soul family from all heavens. They loved me the moment I came on the radio, and they show up today because they love me. I don't ever have to have a statement of validation to these people, and they will be protected. and they will be honored by the heavens and the celestials. That's the difference, my dear lighted ones, between being consciously aware and consciously expansive and consciously in breath with God and unconditional. Whether you call it family or friends or a circle or a work environment, there is no way that any boss or any company or any CEO or any government or any person that calls himself a leader or wears an outfit or a uniform that has bars on their chest or label, there is no way that if you are inciting separation, discrimination, harm, danger, death, sacrifice to any family, whether it be by warfare of technology, hacking into their technology, or just being a regular pain in the ass so that you can feel like you want to bully them and intimidate them until they commit suicide. Because you know that they're living in poverty, you know that they have no support, you know that they have no love, and they're not getting love from anywhere or anybody because you've cut it all off. And you've systematically abused it and destroyed it. So how is anybody in any realm of any thought or knowledge, it's like a torture chamber. Anything good that's supposed to come to her, these little snakes and these little snipers go in and they take it out before it even gets to me. And they do blockage spells and they do cock blocking spells and they do anything that anybody wants to come around me with love. Swipe or no swiping, to get sucked up and siphoned by the elite soul harvesters and their little minions and their little black witches and warlocks. And they do this 24/7 and they have people around the clock that do this on me. They'll go into my dreams and they'll set these intentions on dreams and they'll do mental warfare and I have to stay 10 steps ahead and my mental capabilities with God has to be 100 for me to ever have survived the shit. It's been such shit. It's been shit that these people will do and incite and impale and force 24/7 on my life, and why I'm always alone. Because I have to rebuild myself every minute. And there's people that don't need any validation from you. They just want to love you. And they will always, always, always be walked through the gates. And if they're having a tough time, they will be looked after and cared for. That's who I was to so many people. And the people that were called in my life and called family and friends didn't really care. They took me for granted. They took advantage of me. They took my ideas. They took everything that I had to say. And everything that I did was to inspire them and to lift them up. And then they took it and they ran with it and they gave it to somebody else and they made a lot of money off of it. While I sat fucking hungry. And I still sent them light. So you tell me, dear leaders of tomorrow, who are you? I have the utmost importance to this planet and its survival and its futuristic, tangible codes for all life. You're never going to get it, and that's okay. Your consciousness is not there. And what I say is very sacred. It has nothing to do with ego. It has nothing to do with anything but my sacred speech. I am ranked. I am to be here because of life, of all futures, of all timelines, of all planets, of all universes, because I have and I see and I am and I say. I will not validate. I will no longer be tested. I will no longer be experimented on. Any scams or schemes or plots or plans that anybody tries to come forward and to get a couple pieces of my hair or maybe some skin or blood. Anything that you do with malintention, you will be sitting down in your karma and it will weigh on your soul until you either get diseased, until you lose your sight, until you lose everything in your bank account or all the ones that you say you love, until you get it. Sacred is sacred, and it shall not be touched. Sacred is sacred, and it shall be allowed to express itself fully and completely. As is the planet, as are the cetaceans, as are the children, as are the birds in the sky and the insects. God knows what God is doing. When will the arrogance of this planet sit down, fall in love with who you are, and allow the plan of the divine to unfold magically within you and around you? You will never control God's plan. You will never drive God's plan. You will never drive nature to be what you want it to be. Your control and your domination are woundings because you have no idea who you are. You've been misled about God altogether, and you have no trust within yourself to manifest and create simply by being authentically you. And when you sit back and you relax, take a deep breath. And you actually just sit in the pleasure of being just you, authentically you. And you can be silly, and you can be carefree, and you can be jovial, and you can be funny, and you can be humorous, and you can be of the moment, and you can be wildly intellectual, and you can be wildly intelligent, and you can be wildly cosmic in your speech, and you can be wildly anything. You can be wildly divine feminine, you can be wildly masculine when you need to be, you can be wildly whatever it is. Stay wild, moon child. You're meant to be who you are when you're meant to be it. Follow the divine sacred child. And in that is your most divine authenticity. So be it. Because it allows others to be authentic in their skin. Because they've been told something that they don't fit within anymore. So again, when those layers of the onion get peeled away, you will always be left with you. And the wounds will still be there while your magic sex spells will never work. Because that sex spell will never heal your wounds. You have to heal it. Doing sex magic on somebody is not going to make somebody love you. It's going to bring an illusion in front of them. Illusions are not truth. They're illusions, and they fade, and they will. Because as it is, when God said enough is enough, it means enough is enough, and a whole city will be cleared of their magic. And all the spells that were placed over all these people, that these covens spent so much money, spent so much time, 24/7 hours, they were doing their enchanting and their magic spells over anybody and all people so that their secrets could be held. If God says enough is enough, a city will be cleared of all magic overnight. Make no mistake about that. And those children that you have touched will call you on it, and the people that you have harmed will call you on it, and the whistleblowers will come out from all crevices of the cracks of the crevices. And the documents will be where they need to be. It doesn't matter if you're a government, it doesn't matter if you're an official, it doesn't matter if you have affiliate businesses that are trafficking kids back and forth. Make no fucking mistake about that. Whatever is unseen will come forward. It doesn't matter how much magic you try and use or how much deities and how many voodoo dolls. It ain't gonna work. Because its time is up. Corruption is done. This is my garden now. There is nothing but forthrightness, transparency, and truth. If you want to make it right, I suggest you do so. Because karma is going to get more harsh every day. And the heavens and the universe and the galactic federations and the universal galactic parties and the universal planets and the multiversal planets and the multiversal ascension plan. You know there is a multiversal ascension plan just like there is a blueprint for every human? Do you know that, right? We talk about it. It's for the universe, the multiverse. The multiverse ascension ain't going to wait for you before you get wise and say, maybe I should just tell the truth. The multiverse ain't going to wait for you. How hard is it to be truthful? From this point on, make yourself a promise, dear lighted ones. From this moment on, I will be truthful because it clears my chakras. It brings light and joy and promise to my children. They're not going to have to walk in my darkness. They're not going to have to walk in my deeds. I will make it right now. I will bring forward every deed that I made deceit on, every fabrication of an ill truth, I will make right on. Because you don't want to dump it to your children that you say you care so much for. Well, if you cared so much for them, then you wouldn't be doing sacrifices and you wouldn't be selling things to the black web and you wouldn't be trafficking them back and forth so that you can have another vacation, so that you can get out of your deeds because you think there's going to be a deity that's going to veil it over when you go to court next month. No. There's no more veiling, there's no more magic spells. There are angels working around the clock right now. Every piece of magic you do is going to be just immediately invisible because all your gifts and skills are stripped from you. Anything that's going to be meant to be touched, a light seed or a star seed or a light being like myself, is shifted right back to you. I'm not being touched. I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed when I've said 1 billion times. That's why the respect of my voice, it's a human right. The respect of my voice, when I say no, stop doing that, it means no, stop doing it. Stop bringing your magic on me. Stop stalking me. Stop hacking my phones. Stop hacking my accounts. I deserve to receive what I've worked so hard for. I'm an honest, integrous person. If I want clients and if I want my channels to be seen, I have the right. I've earned it. I've earned my right for my wisdoms to be towards the people, and God will make sure it happens. However, God will make sure it happens. I deserve to have paying clients. I deserve to make nonprofit organizations with however and whatever and in what way, whatever, and however I'm going to work with those people to bring the betterment and the good, greater good to those people that have not been greater good. Because I have answers for things that are unsolvable right now. And by God, I'm going to be lifted. It's because of God, only God, that I am here. It is because of God and only God I wake up every day. It's because of God and only God that I say that I am, that I am, and that is my speech. And it will be rung through. Make no mistake about this, I see it right now. I see little children in temples because there are no more schools or temples. And these children are reading my scriptures. And the scriptures are in code, telepathic code. Everywhere I travel on this planet, I put love and vibrations and stories into the planet. And I read it. And I read it back. It's a co-creation. That's godly. That's the omnipresent intelligence. That's what we're going to talk about today. So make no mistake, dear lighted ones, I don't need to give any discourse on disclosure about who I am and what I do and how intellect it is and how high vibrational is and the ins and outs of the minutia of who I am with Source. Nobody will know but me and Source. And that's the beauty of it. It's a secret between me and Source. As I act with Source, as I am with Source, I am of spirit. I'm in spirit all the time. I'm always in spirit. And I'm a little bit goofy and I'm a little bit awkward sometimes. That's who I am. I don't care. I don't want to be like anybody else. I am me. I am me. I am me. I am me. I'm not going to change. When I walk forward, everything is changed. When I speak, everything is changed. I know who I am. And me and God have a special story. I don't have to validate anything. I don't have to describe anything. I don't have to discern anything for anybody. Someone's placed in for me, and God will say, I placed this person before you for a certain reason. They're gonna come into an awakening, so are you. That's how it goes. That's how creation goes. I place people before you because they awaken when they're before you, because of your codes, because of who you are, because of how you vibrate. You will get awakened. You will be shifted. It's up to you now to take that and say, thank you, God, for giving me another opportunity to awaken into my full self. Thank you, God, for placing this genius, this being before me so I can get the codes that I need, so I can see myself in a little bit different way. I can see reality a different way. I can see God in a different way. I can see my human family in a different way. I want to soften just a little, God. Thank you. Thank you for these blessings, God. Why don't you go away today and thank God for the blessing of seeing me before you? Instead of hating, instead of throwing your magic, why don't you thank God that in 2 weeks from now, you're going to be a totally different person because of the energy that I offer? And you ain't paying nothing for it. See, you don't understand how good God is. I do. That's why it doesn't matter if I'm in poverty. It doesn't matter if I don't get fed today. It doesn't matter if I don't have a home. Because that's the magic between me and God. And God will always make sure that I'm cared for. And God will always make sure I'm brought back to life. And I'll just move another timeline that where people will just appreciate me a little bit more. Because I don't have to discern and I don't have to describe, I don't have to validate the little minutia that I get second by nanosecond with me and God. I see things and I feel things and I sense things in nanoseconds. And that's my love with God. That's my harmony with God. That's my song with God. And I try and explain it the best way I can in 3D language and 3D words. You just don't have it. Your consciousness isn't there yet. But that's okay. I try and be patient. I try and be patient. And I've been patient long enough. What I'm tired of is the inhumane human hunting games and the Hunger Games that make me feel like I'm a piece of meat with a bunch of Wolverines circling me, minute for minute, because you just can't get, and you just don't understand. You just don't understand higher consciousness, and you never will until you sit down and do your healing. My seeds are star seeds, which means that my vibration carries a different punch, and it hits differently. And sometimes those men that think that they've been involved with me in the past think that we're meant to be together because of the starseed energy I carry. And now that they're starting to wake up, they're saying, hey, maybe there was something there. Maybe I shouldn't have abused her. Maybe we are meant to be. And they're going to go on this little circle about how we're meant to be and how we're meant to be and how we're meant to be. Doesn't matter how many times they abuse me. You're all forgiven. I already said I forgive you. You have no weight with me. Everything has been expunged. You're all free to go. Go have your great life. The damage was immense. The loss was immense, and I will never forget what was done in your malice and your hate, because it's you, not me. But that doesn't mean to say, just because you're now awakening, and just because you're now getting things, and just because you're now seeing things differently, doesn't mean we're meant to be. It just means that I pack a different energy and you're kind of intrigued and curious. The more you heal yourself, the more you're going to be in alignment with your perfect soulmate. Ask God. Ask God who your perfect soulmate is. It ain't me. I'm just carrying a unique vibration where all of you are getting a little bit excited. Especially the men, because the men are going through a healing, and that's okay. Why? Because I am 100% turned on divine feminine, and you haven't seen many of us around, because most of the divine feminine want to be like somebody else. I don't want to be like anybody else. I haven't seen anybody on this planet I want to be like. I want to be like me. I want to be authentically, genuinely me. And sometimes if I say the word fuck, it's because I'm so impatient with what has gone on, and I've said it so many different times in so many different ways. I can't take a horse to the water and make it drink. Everything you do affects everything in creation. It's either going to be light, it's going to be neutral, or it's going to be negative. And you choose. I didn't deserve one speck of hate, one speck of death, one speck of suicide, one speck of poisoning. I didn't deserve the pins and the needles that go in those dolls that I feel. And let me tell you this, dear lighted ones, and I say this with great pause and thank you, God, for blessing me. I am a part of God's eyes and ears. And I can see and feel things that I'm meant to feel, and I'm meant to see them, and I'm meant to speak about them. Because that's my blessing. Because I have a heart so big that I move, literally, I move galaxies into new vibrations with the access of my heart. And I'm saying with great pause to these people that call themselves leaders and bars on their uniforms, and those people that are in policing, that if you ever say that you're taking money to make sure that an innocent person never get heard and never get justice, I pray for you. I am here, dear lighted ones, because I hear the children. I hear what goes on behind doors and in little caves and in little tunnels and in empty houses where they are sitting by themselves. I am connected with the higher selves at nighttime so I can bring them joy and I can bring them the peacefulness of the planet and I can share flowers and the sights that they can't see because they're enslaved. And they're told lies their whole entire life, just as I was by the government. And those people that they were sold to and passed off to and adopted by and thrown to and sold to and bet on. And however a baby and however a child is shuffled about, you ought to be ashamed. Any baby that comes out, you're already planning how you're going to shuffle them. You ought to be ashamed. So let's start there. Let's start with that shame. Let's start with that guilt. I feel what I feel and I sense what I sense and I know what I know and I see what I see and then I say what I see. Those are my gifts and I'm never going to change who I am. I will never explain and I will never validate. It's up to you to catch up. I am that I am. I'm not explaining no more. These children need a voice. These children need somebody like myself, whether they are autistic, whether they are high function, whether they're an empath, and they don't understand the world they're being placed in. There needs to be new experiences here, dear lighted ones, and it needs to be connective, and it needs to be related to peace and love and unity and the harmonies of all that is God, and all that is nature, and all that is a sound body and mind. And we need clean air and we need clean water for that. And we need adults and we need people in the houses and people in the neighborhoods that will actually, how does this sound? I don't know, protect life, honor it, respect it, and value it. Because without this, you will never be godly and you will never be ranked in any way, anyhow. And you will remain in the mud realms. And it will be as if you have no feet because you will not be able to move anywhere because you're in the mud realms. You do not oscillate. You do not create. You just exist in mud. There will never be exploration. There will never be color. There will never be light, and there will never be love. There will just be mud. Dense, thick, non-moving darkness. And every satanic ritual that you do to cause another harm, that is your compass. And we have told you. That goes for government programs. That goes for government people and bodies that refuse to do what is basic common sense and bring truth, make things right, and bring justice to those that are calling it. If there is corruption in your city and in your cults and covens, call it. And take your confessions to the authorities and call it when it occurs and keep calling it until something happens. Because you are the ones that are building the bridges to the next incarnation that you absolutely want to be a part of, because you will be 5D and you'll be able to manifest from thought. As simple as a thought, there it is, and that's how it is. That's what eternal life is. It is not being bound to anybody. There is no bondage, there is no strings. Misogyny will be no more. Thank God for that. And thank God for the Messiah that has been placed before you in this divine feminine gorgeousness. Because I speak for every divine feminine that has been raped and taken out because she chose to speak up at a time where it was important for her and nobody listened and nobody cared. And for 5 years, she sat homeless. And every day she said the same thing. Why do I have to be homeless? All I do is give love. And then I listened to other homelessness stories. And then I listened to the bigots that are in the coffee shops and in the stores and in the streets that say, what are we going to do about this homelessness? Well, what are we going to do about the government testing? What are we going to do about the ignorance when you think you can fabricate anything to get out of your crimes and then you blame it on an innocent person and they go and kill themselves because they don't understand why they've been dealt such a fucking hand? So you tell me, dear lighted ones, the shuffling that goes on behind closed doors and in secret. Karma's karma either way, and it's going to get you. It will. Now you can either take the brave and bold way and say, we're going to make this right. Let's sit at a table and let's work out what's been done. Because you deserve some peace and you deserve to walk around and you deserve to have somebody drive you around. Let's get at it. We're going to clear things up today because nobody wants to go another day where there's darkness being impaled on a city. And who knows what's going to come about that city because there's been so much hate and so much spell work. Be it an earthquake, be it a storm, be it a flood. And you all just turn a blind eye and don't care. Now all you know that karma is real. Now all you know that there is a God. Now all you know that I ain't going to go away. Now all you know that I ain't going to be sacrificed. Now all you know that your glamour spells and your dumbass spells that you put on me, I'm going to come forward looking more beautiful, looking more wonderful, looking more gorgeous, looking more divine feminine every day. And my starseed codes are going to shine, shine. They're going to shine, shine, shine. My starseed codes are going to shine. They're going to shine because I am that I am, and I can be who I am in any way, because my voice carries life, and I can be whatever I choose to be. And when I say life, I mean life. I am breathed back to life. So stop your silly games. Put your guns down. Put your little magic cauldrons down and heal who you are. That is the only way through the gates. And we've said it from day one. I will never stop walking with Anubis. I will be placed before those that need an activation and need to alter course. Get used to it. Universe, the multiverse ain't going to change because you don't want to come out of your small beliefs of your greed and your selfishness. You will heal. Take a long time or take a short time, that's up to you. But the multiverse ain't going to change its laws for you. Quantum law is quantum law. What you put out, you will get back, and it's coming back faster. Get used to it. There will be new laws made from my case of discrimination and the hate and the malice and the loss and the defamation and the subjugation and the exploitation and the sabotage that has been done to my life, to my name, to my energy. Somebody that has taken care for her body to be celibate and cared for, of spirit, of light, of sound, of care and honor and self-love that divine feminines rarely see on this planet, and to have porn videos and stories that are made of such malice. Are you kidding me? And that's what you think of the divine royal family that has brought life back to life, back to life by a breath and by a touch. You must be also proud. Today, dear lighted ones, we want to go to the omnipresent field. We want to go to the clairs and we want to breathe in deeply. All I ask is that you make your own conscience right. Clear away any densities, clear away any darkness. Everybody knows what has been done. Everybody knows what has been stolen, taken, raped, and ruined, withheld, subjugated, withheld from the truth, withheld from honor, withheld from the respect of families that are destroyed because lies just won't be made right. So choose as you choose. You're never going to get away from it. You're never going to run from it. You're never going to scapegoat it. You're never going to veil it or cloak it. You will sit with every thought, word, and deed. You just will. You will either sit with it in mud, or you will sit with it and you will start to transmute it and to turn it into something better. Every day is your opportunity, and the days are getting shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter to make it right. And that's up to you because everybody's been told 700 times. So now we're going to get on to something more positive and more enlightening. Donations, for those that have been on the peripheral, you can make a donation to me, and it's up to you and God to have that discussion on what part of your karma will be transcended out of your donation. Those that have actually committed crimes, stealing, theft and fraud, insurance claims, insurance frauds, inheritance frauds, taking money out of bank accounts that are in my name, fabricating documents that were in my name, anything that was done in my name other than my divorce is not my signature. I did not have any part of that conversation. I did not have any part of signing that piece of paper. I have not been a part of any signing of any paper except for my divorce. Period, point fucking blank. So anybody says that they're a partner with me, anybody said that they're my buddy and they've had permission to use my work, bold-faced lies. Nobody has been given permissions. I've not sold my work to anybody. It won't work for you. It's my codes. And this is why God is having you sit down. You're going to keep sitting down until I'm given balance. And right now I haven't been given balance. So you're going to keep getting karma every day until I get what I'm owed. That's how it's going to go. Because the multiverse, again, ain't going to change the law of balance because you want to sit in your lie. No. Everybody will know about that lie, and that's going to bring balance to a whole lot of people, because if I'm the only one that's saying it, there's a lot of other people that have been lied to. There's a lot of other people that have been human tested, a lot of other people that have been stalked, a lot of other people that haven't had their voice. And I'm that voice, and God made it so. Thank God. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Holy Spirit, for living through me and of me. And I'll be very grateful for anything and anybody that comes forward with a due process of making it right. Don't come to me. Go to take your confessions to authorities. Send anything that is of legal draft, of legal documents to the lawyer. And then I will collect it with the lawyers, and I will be in front of lawyers as I open it. And I'm going to have gloves on when I open it. Because that's just how wonderful these people are. They're filled with such love, and they're filled with such compassion, and they're filled with such greatness. They're going to put little love heart sticky notes on the paper that they give me. That's how much love I've felt so much love being here. Thank you, Holy Spirit. We're going to talk about the omnipresent. Okay, so I had these really cool visions, right? I had these really cool visions. So everybody take some water, and we're going to clear the air, clear the air, clear the air. So just sit with a back, straight back, straight back, straight back, straight back. Remember, your cells are listening, your cells are listening, your cells are listening. I've been doing a lot of work on my throat chakra lately, so thank you, Holy Teams. Thank you, Holy Spirit, for clearing my chakras and clearing my throat. They've been working so hard on my throat chakra. Thank you, Holy Spirit. And just sweep up, clearing any densities, any energies out. Sweep up, sweep up, sweep up. Feel your like you have a little toroidal that circles you, that circles you, that circles you. Those are your fields, and just visualize divine golden crystalline light bathing over your aura, bathing over your chakras, bathing over your cells, bathing over your skin. You're bathed in light, you're bathed in light. Full body breath, not short little ones. We want full body breath. We want to have all of our source energy. Breathe in source, breathe in source, breathe in source. Full body breath, you should see all of the upper part of your torso move up, right? Full body breath is you're lifting your whole entire torso. Your whole entire torso is lifting up because you want source into the deepest part of you. I offer source in. I invite source in. Thank you, Holy Spirit. My cells are listening. My cells are being bathed in holy white light. My cells are being bathed in holy white light. As I breathe, I become greater light. My cells oscillate faster. I love my body. I love light getting into my cells. I love light getting into the blood. I love light getting into my muscles and my tissues. I love light getting into all of my skin and my eyes and my hair. I love that light gets into everywhere. That could be a song. Aishinamaka aete sinamakata aishinamakata takeshinama ekemata shinama etikeshishimaka. Lots of celestial beings around me right now, dear lighted ones. As you can tell, my energy has been shifting, dear lighted ones. Shikmama kaetikeshishimamakata kaeshinamaka etikeshishimakata takama shishima etikema shishinakataka emakataka. Eshima makata keshi shima makata taka amaka atikeshi maka atikeshi makata ka ama etike na eshishi makata taka e makata ke tike makata ka te shishima makata taka. So this is these are celestials. They're very short. These are celestial beings. Tike makata takeshi na makata taka na kata kata ke na ma etikeshi makata taka ma. I'm translating codes for them right now. We're just putting it into the collective. So just open and receive your divine sacred heart. Say, divine holy higher self, I'm calling in any codes, any energies that would like to transition, any densities, any belief systems that are needed to be removed and transitioned into higher belief systems. connecting with your universal families, connecting with your higher self and your guides. Always connect with your higher self and your guides, and the love of Mother, Father, and all of the languages that you've ever been connected to since the beginning of your original incarnation as a human, and other incarnations where you've landed here as celestials and explored the planet and explored the templates that you choose to explore, because each one of us experience a different earth, right? We experience different earth, different grids, different systems, different communication systems. These are very short beings. They're saying they're 3'5". They're 3'5", 4 feet. Very thin, very beautiful beings. They're like light little children. But they're not children. Shinamaya de Kena Kaida Namaya de Kate Naya Bat Naya de Ama Takeshi Namakata Ana. Take a deep breath. Breath and light language moves energy, it moves density, clears things out. So just keep taking lots of deep breaths. You'll always get what you need to get. You'll never get any more or any less. That's light language. The perfection of light language is that way. It's built into the DNA. It's built into the cosmos. It's built into the correction of all that is. Stagnancy. It will move stagnancy. It will move density. It will move things that aren't meant to be there. It's like a plug-in. It's just like that champagne cork that just pops off. Thank God it had to pop off. Right? Thank God I'm free. Thank God I'm free. I'm a celestial. I'm starseed. I'm alien. I'm whatever I want to be. Today you can be divine feminine. Tomorrow you can practice your divine masculine. This is the freedom and liberation we offer each and every one of you, dear lighted ones. You're meant to be all things. You're meant to be all that is, and then that source. Do you think source would discriminate against the divine masculine? Divine masculine is needed, it's required. Why would we discriminate between a high functioning? Why would we discriminate between a gray? Why would we discriminate between a Pleiadian or a Lyrian or a human? So much discrimination, dear lighted ones. Set it aside and say all is one. Why not begin there? Why not go to the highest umbrella? Aren't you one? Is your foot any different than your elbow? It's still one. It's still on your body. Is your knee any different than your bum? Still on your body, it's still required, you still need it, still is. You know you can start healing what is by calling it one. So if you got an ailment within you, call it one. Call in the light to that area. Call it now, now, now. Call light to that area. Bring it light, dear lighted ones. Say unto it, I acknowledge that that energy is in my body, and that energy can be changed and transformed by the light that I offer it, because I am light. Because I am light, because I am light. And I'm bringing light to those areas of wounding and pain and stagnancy and stuckness and suppression and depression, because I want to be the full expression of who I am, and my oscillation is not like anybody else's. And I have a frequency of intelligence not like anybody else's, and I don't need to validate it. I don't need to give a pro forma. I don't need to give descriptions. I don't need to give testing. That isn't the point of being authentic, is it? If you got to validate everything that comes out of your mouth. No. How about they just catch up? How about you just be who you are and let them catch up? Would you ask Jesus to give you a certificate of where he'd been and what he'd done? Or would you just fall in love with what he's offering? How about you just fall in love with what I offer? And get on with being you. Because you got some healing to do. So those are the Syrians. I was going to say little Syrians, but they are the Syrians working with the Pleiadians, and they're a collective right now that they're coming together to assist with the transition of humanity moving into higher frequencies. We are part of the first party of contact. And we're coming with you to explore through the conduit, the vibrations of who you are. And we're so happy to meet all of you. We're so happy to be with you in this way. And conduits and channels, they have a vessel that allows us to speak through them in many different ways, whether it's be through chords of sound. We offer sounds and chords and harmonies for your new vibrational dimensions. For what is dimension, dear lighted ones? It is resonance and information. And when we meet and when we gather, we will be lots of exploring that we will do with one another. Through sound, yeah. Siamaya. Tesiamaya. Tesiandakatesiama. Si ama etekeshiana sayamama aishana makata keshishiamamaka. When you were all children, we used to whisper in your ear light language and sing to you the lullabies of the stars. And come and sleep, dear lighted ones. And when you sleep, you go back to the heavens and you go back to the star systems, to the bedding that is most loving for you. And when you awaken, you forget that you are veiled, just temporarily, so that you can have the experience that you want to, of reclaiming yourself back to wholeness. But at any given time, there will be vibrations, there will be codes, there will be moments of awakening, through which it be through conduits or channels, or through writing or description or a song, or even their beautiful nature that reminds you all the time that you are all celestial. You are all alien in some way, somehow, to one another. But isn't that okay too? Isn't that okay too? Dear lighted ones, isn't that okay too? Can you be okay with you? Can you be okay with you? Can you be okay with being you? Can you be okay with being you, dear lighted ones? There is no need to make excuses and lies and veil. Be you. We look different than you do. We are not as tall as you. And we love who we are. Is it okay that we don't look like you? If you were to meet us tomorrow, if we were to come out of our light ship and meet you in your backyard, would it be okay that we were much shorter than you? Would it be okay? And if you sat on us, you'd probably hurt us. Would it be okay that you're bigger than us? Would you feel insecure? We hope not. We think you're beautiful. We think you're beautiful in how you look at your bodies and you adorn it with such things, and you still find fault with it. Can you find love for your body in every moment, dear lighted ones? We love you. Can you look at your body every day, and every moment that you see your body, and every moment that you move with your body, and every moment that you breathe with your body, and every moment that you find somebody to love, and just say, I love your authenticity. Thank you. Thank you for being authentic and allowing me to hear what I needed to hear the moment I needed to hear it, because I was so stuck in those old words and verbiages. And it's nice to hear something new, even if I might not agree with it, but boy, oh boy, that's nice to hear something new. What about the people and the government leaders say, you know what, we're going to change. Overnight, we're going to change. The government will change. Say that in your sleep, dear lighted ones. Governments are going to wake up and they're going to change, and they're going to have the people's highest and best. And there will be no gun wars, and there will be no more wars, and there will be no more bombs. There'll be no nuclear. There'll be no more chemtrails. Say these things, because the governments have opportunity to wake up just like you do. And they know that they're part of a grander story. And will they be a part of the right side of justice, or will they continue their agendas of separation and hate and persuasion to dark side? It's up to each to choose it. So stay out of people's business. And do right where you can, because it's your karma, it's your destiny. It's your destiny to bring your lineage up another level, isn't it? It's your doing. Your doing right brings your lineage up a notch on the Jacob's ladder. And we say these things in different ways. And we're here to prepare you. We are part of the first contact community. We're here on the ground, dear lighted ones. And you walk by us sometimes because we choose to be invisible. You're not quite ready for us. But we bring ourselves and our vibration through to you, through those that are so brave and bold and courageous of their authentic self. Because they want to be vibrationally different. They don't want to be like anybody else. And so we come through these people, these channels, these conduits, the vessels of God. And they have been trained. And they're waiting for that moment where they can just be who they are. And throw caution to the wind. I don't care who accepts me. Because you're doing, not mine. I accept me. I can be my starseed self and be most magnetic to anybody else that chooses to be starseed. And I'm here to uplift the planet of all generations from here forth. Because I know I have codes that will wake them up one day and they say, hey, I walked upon this pod. I know the story that's held in these rocks and this land and these trees. I know the energy that's held within these soils. I know it. I just know it. There's something going on here. And I will wake a part of their DNA they had no idea they had access to. Because that's what I do. That's who I am. And that's how magical. And it's okay if the most of the world don't get it. It's okay. And it's okay if I can walk around and maybe one day I won't eat. That's okay. Because I know that if I awaken that DNA, I know that somewhere, somehow, that quirk goes across the entire multiverse and a change has been made, and it's because of me. And that makes me feel okay. Because as long as I'm helping and being a part of God's plan, that's all I care about. How about you rewrite what your soul's destiny is, dear lighted ones? And maybe it not be that you get another billion in your bank account. Maybe it not be that you get another job at the plastic surgeon. And maybe it not be that you get liked by another 100 people on your platform. And maybe it not be that you get the highest views on your next music video. How about it just be that you be the most authentic person that you can be, and you're going to follow God's plan because you're a part of that magnificence that's going to change a person's life, maybe next week, maybe next year, maybe next generation, and you're playing a part of something great. Can that be okay for you? Can you be great, being the world's greatest muffin maker? Then standing on stage and rapping out a song, can that be equal? Can it be equal that you be a star seed and with sacred tones and sacred sounds than somebody that's on the top 40 radio? What do you hold as such your legends of reward and award? How do you measure yourself? What are your measures? From here on out, I want you to, for the rest of the week, what are your measures? What is your measurement that says you're a perfect person? What is it? Is it your 38, 28, 38 figure? What is it? Is it your weight? Is it the bank account? Is it where you have your address? What's your measure? What's your measure? What's your measure? What's your measure? Is it outside of you? I go to bed every day and I talk to my celestials and I see the light ships follow me in the sky. That makes me so very happy. Because I know I'm bringing codes and I'm bringing energy that just makes me feel like I'm one with my celestials. And that oneness vibration as I walk makes a difference. And it makes me want to move wormies back to the soil and back to the grass where it's nice and wet for them. Because I do things like that because it matters. Everything matters. Do you think the light ships in the sky, if they said, well, let's just take out that person there because they're not having that good of time walking across the street, maybe we just take that person out and we'll step on them. Micro, macro, dear lighted ones, there's beings much grander than us. What would happen if they stepped on us crossing the street? How arrogant we have been. And because you own a house and because you took somebody's money and it makes you feel all big and important, but that's not who you are because you stole it. It doesn't make you big at all. It makes you a thief. It makes you fabricating birth information because you didn't want to say what really happened that day. You're just going to keep piling lies upon lies upon lies. And who's going to wear that lie? Who's going to direct that lie? Who's going to shuffle the baby off to the next house? Who's going to make that baby pretend that they're adopted and they're not adopted? They're sold. The things that we have done, dear lighted ones, and you think you're not seen. Every transaction is seen on this planet and it's recorded. That is a fact. Your Akash is recorded, every transaction and every deed you have done. Every thought, every word, everything has been recorded. And it goes nowhere. It is protected by God itself. And no Akashic person can go in there and swap it around because you know you're going to try. You've already tried. And you can't, you won't. God knows every word, every deed, and everybody's been given ample opportunity to save their soul and redeem it into eternal life. Or not, or sit in mud. That's what hell looks like, it's mud. In whatever form you may take, it will be sick and diseased because there is no light in it. That's what you chose. You have to intend to have light come back into your life. And you're going to intend to allow people to move about their path, even if it's away from you. Because that's their free will. And you're going to bless it. Because that's free will as well. Stop throwing around your hate. Allow people to be who they want to be. But know this, if you choose and want to be hateful, and if you choose and want to be sacrificial, and if you choose and you want to be a thief, you're not going to be on the same planet that we will on eternal earth. You will be shifted. And it will be evermore Epstein Earth, and it will go into mud, because that is extinction. That is the practice of hate and domination and control. Those vibrations are very damaging to life. And therefore, thus then, you're not creating life, you're creating death. So stay in it. That's your choice. We're going to get wise about God, dear lighted ones, and God is the omnipresent of all that is creation. The multiverse is filled with the omnipresence of God, Creator. There's variations of the Creator in every universe based on the soul's blueprint of that universe. Within this triad of universes, as the conduit has spoken about before, there is a lower and a middle and a higher consciousness of the universes. Just like your brothers and sisters, just like your star teams, and just like your star guides. There are always ones that are not as experienced and ones that are greatly experienced, and they all help each other. They're moving energy back and forth, the churning of the universes, if you will. That is the universal ascension. And the lower vibrating templates, the lower vibrating dimensions, the lower vibrating realms or sheaths of energy that are refusing to move and grow into light, then they will be moved off and pulled out and moved to the more representative vibration of where it sits. And it could be a lower universe, it could be a lower realm somewhere else. But that's up to the creators in that universe. And they will shift those energies. You won't have the same body. You will have whatever body that is representative of that dimension and that vibration. It makes sense, doesn't it? You're not going to have a high vibrating body that's going to go in a low vibrating experience, nor will you be a low vibrational person taking on a fifth vibrational person's energy when you have not earned it. You have not entrained it, and you have darkness all through your body. You're not operating, you're not oscillating. The cells oscillate at a vibratory rate, and your cells are not operating at the rate to hold which I am. Or know your chakras. Your chakras vibrate at an oscillating rate. You cannot hold, you cannot know, you cannot be what I am. My work is descriptive for me. That's why my work will work for me. It won't work for you. And you will cause failure for yourself. These are just quantum truths and what's happening within the multiverse. The multiverse is omnipresent God. The next vibrational universe that this conduit comes from has been called upon to offer the help and the vibrational omnipresent information of the psyche, of the information that God is within all moments of all breath. And she can see this. And she can feel it in the moment of a fraction of a second, a nanosecond. And that nanosecond lifts her entire purpose of being. Because that second has shown, Father God's alive, Father God's alive, Father God's alive in me, alive in me, alive in me. I remember a story within a nanosecond. And within a nanosecond, my Akasha's opened up, and there he is. That's God. And the mother sits back in just her joy. Because it was her intuitiveness that she bred and breathed through me, through the mother's milk, and nourishing me. Because it makes me feel so alive when I'm in tune with my psychic abilities. Because it's who I am, I've always been it. But there's been so many people on this planet try to rip it from me. And those are the crimes, and that's fine. I get over it. You're all forgiven. It still makes me cry sometimes when I think about how precious a soul that I am, and some children are. And they're told and taught to shut down. They're told and taught and even sent technological warfare to shut them down, to shut their chakras down, to veil them, to do voodoo on them and black magic on them so they never ever know who they are and they never hear the voice of God. And that's so very sad. But God sings and God sings and God sings through the vibrational realms of all that is. Isia naya Uya se kama e te ke shiamaka te ke shiamaka. Te ke maka te she shiamaka te he shiama. I am a te se ama I am I am a te ke se ama I am a te ama I shama kata te ke se ama te se shama mai te ke shama ama tai kana makata te ke se anana pai anana kata te shama lai te namakata ke se anana ayaba aba ai te ke shana aba e te kana maka alana ya nama Prayakatanana te ke nanaka ama ke tanamaka she mama she amama te se alamama te she mama I am a kata ke she mama te she mama te she mama I am a se anaya Uya Ayana kesi ayana maya ayana ya ayana kate kesi anaka I love you isi anaya ya I love you. Tisia Maya ya naya. Iya tisia Maya ya naya. Shia Maya Tekesia Maya. The Holy Creator loves you, dear lighted ones. I love you. Teya Maya Naya Maya ya Maya yan. Ayama Tekesia Eshyama. And when love is so pure and love is so authentic, Apa I love you, children of earth. That's what the Father is saying. The Father is saying, and those are the beautiful Pleiadian and Syrian singers that were coming. They're part of the first contact crew. And those are some of the songs that we sang when all we had to do was just be together in our tribes. There was no distractions. There was no phones or technology. We were just together singing and walking the planet and creating the unity and oneness. The Father loves you so very much. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Oh, that's part of your first contact crew, dear lighted ones. They're coming to say welcome. They're so beautiful. I'm so lucky I get to feel their energy. They're very, very tiny. So wonder how such tiny little things like children can be felt so purely. So this is a vision that I see in the opening of this is the side version of the universe, and the energy is always bathed down by creation, the higher realms, and the 13th dimension. It's such a high, refined stretching out, if you will. So I was channeling, the difference between the 13th dimension and the third dimension. It's the stretching and the breathing and the inhale and exhale, if you will. So the inhale and the exhale of a third dimension, it's very small, but the inhale and exhale of a 13 is huge, right? And they deposit energy as they're inhaling and exhaling source creator light. And so the codes and the refinement at the 13th dimensional level, the codes and the refinement are much more harmonized and refined at this. So it's a pure pitch, it's a pure harmony, it's a pure song, it's a pure note, if you will. And it's very vast and far reaching. The 13th dimension is very far reaching. And then as the dimensions go down, it's cascading down all of what is needed through Source Creator, because Source knows what's needed in between each bandwidth, what's needed between each slit, if you will. Source Creator knows what's needed. And if we're acting and behaving in this most authentic version of who we are, then Source and all of the like they said, sequencing of events just takes place, because in your authenticity, you're sending out that vibration that says, this is who I am today. And this vibration is sending out those codes to come back and be your authentic version and your authentic collaboration, your authentic soulmate, your authentic team and family, and all of the things that make you up to be that thing that fits, the Rubik's Cube that actually clicks in that time. But you can't do that, and the universe can't give it to you, and the codes and the songs and the notes can't be if you're pretending and veiling yourself from the authenticity of who you are and why the reflection work is so important. Like, who are you? The vessel that I am right now has been affected by everything that I'm within myself saying, no, today I'm going to do my light language. I'm going to sing today because it makes me most happy, right? That my light language. And this morning, I was having my coffee outside on the picnic table, and there was the light ships. And I know that the light ships that are in my family, I have to go in a few minutes, so I just want to get this light ship story. But the light ships that are in my family, that they really want to slow down. And there's probably the beings that were talking with us today, but they go really, really slow, right? Because they want to play with me. Usually they just zip by, and they're like within a half a second, they're already across the galaxy, so they do have quite fast travel. But these ones were really, really slow, and they were going so slow, and they were kind of going in different directions like this. So I was watching them, and I was just saying good morning, and I was singing to them and things like that. So they're getting us ready. So you're going to see and you're going to feel, they're just letting you know that you're going to feel the difference in my vibration. Because when they came in today, it was like the cluster of them came in, and my frequency just immediately changed. And so I'm getting used to working with the first contact teams and the first contact families, as well as offering new vibrations for these new systems of change and new systems of new things for humanity, education and healing and all of these things that I'm a part of. I'm part of, putting the codes in to the bandwidths, and then however and whoever needs it, they can pick and pull, they can unpack it, if you will, because that's what I'm here just to offer, and then it's up to everybody to unpack. I'm here to offer truth, and then it's up to everybody to unpack, because everybody's at different consciousness levels. But just know that the resonance that you level up on, every time you bring truth, you level up on Jacob's ladder. It's the stepping system, right? And you're going to go back and forth, and you're going to go back and forth, and you're going to see that the times that you've had in darkness are very powerful, because it allows you to know that there's that much more light that's waiting for you, but you have to choose it. Nobody's going to force you to be, and nobody's going to force you to be in your truth when you're not ready for it, And, it's like going on a diet when you're not ready to give up hamburgers. You got to be ready, and you got to choose that for yourself. And so just know that the land is, because it's part of first contact too, because the shifts and changes I can feel it. It's just so much more celestial. So I'm really, really happy. They're getting us ready for our celestial families and friends, and those changes will come through the vibrations that I'll offer again. So go back and listen to our videos over and over again. I always say that because I offer codes, and I change and I alchemize as well as I'm listening to my videos, because my intention is always to hold the highest light codes, to hold the highest information, to hold the highest level of truth, so that whoever needs to hear it when they need to hear it, because a lot of people have been also trafficked and abused as well. And so to know that I can stand in my truth and bring forward a how-to, just speak the truth on systematic abuse, speak the truth on covert abuse, speak the truth on, secret society, occult and coven abuses. There is a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of misguidances. There's a lot of wrong information about spirit, about our soul's progression, about who we are, what we exist with, and what's going on within us. And part of me bringing forward the omnipresence of God is present in all things. God knows exactly who's doing what and what's doing who. It's source creator. Everything that you do is always recorded by spirit. So if something needs to be brought back into balance, the multiverse is going to check in. The multiverse is going to say, send a team of beings to make sure that there's balance brought, because this one being needs to move ahead in this direction, that direction. There's things that I need to put things, I need to do this and I need to do that. And if I'm being held back in a box, source is going to make sure there's a billion beings that are going to make it happen. Make no mistake about that. And this is where we have to have more faith in the process of just natural order. If you're naturally who you are, which I have been, I've been naturally who I am, and I'm going to be more and more myself every day. The more energy and the more unique light codes I give forward, it's going to activate others to be in their authentic self. And that becomes the wave and the momentum that has been holding humanity stagnant. And therefore the momentum of this, the rubber band effect, as a lot of the channelers have been talking about. So just remember that the codons hold a vibrational vibrancy. Your codon, when it's activated, it holds a vibration. So when you have a codon that's activated, if I have my celestial codes activated, you'll feel it in my energy. And that's so today, because I've had so much work being done, and they're really working on healing my throat chakra, because all the damage has been done on this lifetime, it's more of a celestial code that's going out into the grid. So again, it's just in the omnipresent, and then you just call in the omnipresent and do your healing and your clearing, ground, do your full body breaths, and look after the sustenance and maintenance of your multidimensional systems, clearing your fields, grounding, getting out in nature as often as possible, saging your house once a week minimum, and really cutting back and moving away people that are toxic and people that are discriminatory and judgmental, all of those negative energies. You have to commit yourself to being around higher vibrational people, because they're going to lend to, oh, thank you, sweetheart. It's my favorite color. This is my favorite color. I love green. Green and yellow are my favorite colors. And I just, it was on sale. So, green is the heart chakra, along with, it was a color that my granny used to buy me. She was kind of my mother. She was a surrogate mother to me, if you will. Yellow, and she always give me yellow. She was a knitter, so she used to knit yellow and green for me, because I loved yellow and green. Yeah. Send me more pictures of your garden, Cluedo. They were beautiful pictures. And I liked your little sundress you were wearing. Maybe when I have my finances, I can buy you a sundress. I'd love to buy you a sundress. You got beautiful hair, by the way, too, Cluedo. I loved your long hair. She had her hair long. Her hair is just about as long as mine. Beautiful hair. Thank you, Scotty. I missed you. So I have one more minute. So practice entrainment of your higher vibrational consciousness, because consciousness is everything. Consciousness is godliness. Consciousness in every realm, in every dimension, that's your godliness, right? God is at every level. God's at every level. Your multidimensional systems of your body, your heart, your mind, your soul, and your chakras are always reading the information before you. This is where I've just always, and this is, I can find it, I'm learning to fall in love with myself every second, because now that all these veils of magic is being lifted from me, my body has always been able to read energy at a multidimensional level. So this is what today was about. It's about the Omni as the all, your multidimensional bodies is the all, and your multidimensional bodies can read and sense energy. So feel into it. Sometimes you're going to feel it and sense it and smell it. Sometimes there's going to be different energies coming all at once, and it can be overwhelming, but just allow it. Right? That's the divine feminine energy. To be intuitive is divine feminine. Divine feminine is the allowance. So to read energy, whether it's a person, a being, or an injury, or a room, or a crime, whatever it is, a rock, sacred sites like Sedona, Machu Picchu. I've done lots of videos on Machu Picchu. If you go back on my radio list, I did lots of energy readings there. I love Machu Picchu, Peru. I love Sedona. So much energy there, so much galactic energy there. And it's changing because our consciousness is changing. So their grids are getting updated all the time. In our dream time, we're going to these places and updating those sacred sites. What did we say? Take me back to that thread for a second, Spirit. So again, the omnipresence is offering you that authentic, right? So every morning and every day throughout your day, I am the authentic expression of Source. I'm the authentic expression of Source. Know that your divine feminine energy is the one that reads the energy. So again, those that are not healed in divine feminine are going to find it very hard to be in your intuitiveness, to be in that psychic energy, because it is divine feminine. So if you're a masculine, you can heal your divine feminine energies by focusing on being psychic, by allowing the psychic energies to feel out the story for you. To discern the story is just to allow it. Allow the psychic story to be what it is. Don't question it. Don't doubt it, right? Natural order. Allow natural order. That's God. That's divine feminine. So you can work on your divine feminine energies this week by preparing yourself and discerning for yourself the energies you're navigating, and trust your inner feeling. Like, no, this is right. That's the divine feminine, and focus on the divine feminine is the allowance. I'm allowing the story to be what it is. You don't have to agree to it. Sometimes what the ego does, the ego wants to pre-read the story and it'll project, right? This is what all these manipulators and these dark empaths do. They project energy so that you don't know what you're doing or you don't know what you're thinking. They have a lot of ways of manipulating energy, the dark empaths. They're very practiced at it. And they even do it in court cases. So what you want to do is just take anything this week, because you can take anything at any moment and read it. So, whether it's a room, read the room. You can go into work and read, if somebody's not well, you can say, do you mind if I read you? Do you mind if I just practice my gifts? And then just allow the energy to be what it is. And then you'll find that you're going to be reading, in this field of view, because if this is your aura, you're going to say, there's something here that I'm just feeling. Your body, your multidimensional bodies will pull. It's like a beeline, right? You'll be pulled into that piece of energy, because this is how I read. I'm pulled into a piece of energy, and then I'm shown something, or you feel something, or you smell something, or you have something that's going by in your memory. So practice it this week. Practice your clairs. Practice what you're drawn to, and then have permission of those that you're going to read. If you're going to read them, always use your right use of free will and non-interference, and your law of balance. So those are your gifts, because we always want to follow your guidelines and protocols. You always want to follow a protocol of service. Your protocol of service is that you're not going to hinder on anybody's akash or anybody's energy or anybody's mental processes. You're not going to go and dream rape them. You're not going to go and get into their dreams or their akash. You need permission to do anything psychically on anybody. And that goes for the governments too. They need to get signatures if they want to be testing on people, or just, throwing technological chakra impalements at people. You kind of need a signature for that, because no, I'm not going to let you harm me. I'll always be connected by God, and you can't take that away from me. I'm becoming more and more connected with Source Creator every day. So they're wasting a whole lot of money and a whole lot of things they don't need to do. So just do that. So know that your multidimensional systems, like all of you, and as you're clearing out and doing your maintenance every day, do it in the morning and do it at night. Your healing sessions are at night. You're going to find this lightening up of your multidimensional bodies, and you're going to be reading and sensing energy. Like when I was just doing my channel today, those beings just came through, and I just started. My energy shifted right away. If you go back and watch the video, you'll see my body shift. They came through me. And so that's just letting you know that you're going to be getting a lot more celestial energy too, right? So just intend it. Just listen and say, these parts where we're opening up and channeling, I'll do the last half of the call. The last hour will be channeling and messages for the collective. I'm kind of over my time right now, but I don't think there's anybody behind me. So just know that you're going to have more and more celestial energy, but trust in the surrender of divine feminine, of your divine feminine energies to read whatever is there. Don't judge it. Don't make it something that it's not. Allow the story to unveil itself, right? That's your trust in the divine order. Allow the story to come forward in whatever way it can. Sight, sound, smell, feeling, sensation, vision. You might get a story, you might get a flash. Everybody's psychic abilities are going to come on in different ways, and it's going to come really fast. And you're going to think, was that really what I thought? Like, you're going to ask your teams, is that what happened there? And your teams will say, yeah, you're getting it. It's going to be a lot more fluid. It's going to be like, wow, this is what I used to feel like before I was subjugated. This is what I feel like before I veiled myself of all my lack and my, ostracization, woundings. So you're going to feel yourself a lot more free and opening up, and you're going to, you could be just on a walk and you're going to get something, you're going to get a piece of information you really need, or it's going to be something like that where you can actually hold on to it and say, yeah, that's the version of me I used to be. That's the version I'm going to be more authentic with. And then just ask it to come forward every day. I ask the authentic version of me in my divine psychic abilities, my sensing abilities, my mediumship abilities, however I choose to be with God, however I choose to be with the omnipresent. The omnipresent wisdom is going allowed to be with you. But you've got to, again, clear your fields, because you don't want to read dirty energy. Clear your fields and center within your heart space. Your divine sacred heart is right here. That's the diamond that we talked about. Diamond, the divine sacred heart, is here. Align with your intention here to be of your highest authentic version. It's always from your heart space. So when you speak from your heart. Right? So speak from your heart space, and when you're doing your clearing with Mother, Father, God, and you're doing your clear of your karma, speak from here. It's your pure intention that matters. Your pure intention is the only thing that alchemizes. Pure intention is the only alchemy. Spirit is the only quickener. That's what that means. Pure intention is the spirit. There's a spirit in everything. It's your pure intention to activate the clearing of density. It's only you. Spirit can do it. If you're sitting nonchalant, say, oh yeah, whatever. Yeah, just clear some karma. No, it's purity of intent. You have to feel the love of something being lost, because you lost something in the lie. You lost a part of you in the lie. You lost a part of your originality. You lost a part of your authenticity, and now you're projecting it onto somebody else, and you're lying to that person that you say you care about. Well, you can't care about them if you're lying to them, right? That's a misnomer. If you're lying to them, you don't care. So be authentic, be transparent, and live from this heart space. That is the quickening of spirit. And when you channel those energies that love you, you're going to be in alignment, right? So that's why you have to clear and ground and center first before you do your psychic work, because otherwise you're just going to be entangling with dirty energy. Or imbalanced energy, wherever your core vibration is at, right? Then that's what you're going to be vibrating with. So it's always good to clear your fields first, get yourself really happy, like go outside, go for a jog, just put on some music and dance, however you get happy. So have a list of things that really make you happy. And then you go into your channel and you speak with your guides, speak with Mother, Father, and say, thank you, Spirit, for allowing me all of these ways where I can communicate, all of these ways where I can be a part of Spirit, all these ways I can be a part of Gaia and my collective. How is it that I may help and be an authentic version of me for the vocational alignment and the vocational offering that I am? That's what we do in the vocational alignment sessions, is we help you have an authentic version of you being offered to the authentic collective. Because we don't want our collective to be fake anymore. Yeah. We don't want our collective to be in dirty energy. We don't want our collective to be in fake this and fake that, and they say one thing to your face and they turn around and they're doing, Ouija boards at night. Okay, so then move away. This way you have the right to move away. There's no law anywhere that says you have to be abused because these people are family, or because these people, or whatever. It doesn't matter what the story is. Abuse is abuse. It's not okay. Whether it's by government, by a workplace, it's not okay. And when people are stealing from you. When people are taking from you. When people do wrong to you. When there's lies going on in your house. Clear it out and make it go no further. So have family circles where you care about each other and you say, we're going to have some heartfelt conversations, and some of the things that might be said are going to hurt, but we're going to transition, we're going to move through it. There's no need for lies in our home. That's not a foundation I want to build. So have that with every work meeting. If you have people in your work and you just say, our foundations are built on truth and trust and honor. We're not going to have foundations of deceit. We're not going to have foundations of winning up and beating up on other people, whether it's winning a competition or winning this or winning that. No, we're a team. This is a foundation of oneness. Nothing can grow on a broken foundation. It just won't. It'll keep falling. So what foundations do you have, and what is authentic to you? Who are you? Your authenticity is everything going forward. That's how your celestials align with you. You will be known by your light. When you're veiling, when you're masking, when you're cloaking, when you're lying, when you're manipulating, when you're deflecting, when you're projecting, that is not authentic energy. It's chaotic. It's warped. Authentic truth. That's who you are. Get to the core of it. And it's okay if people think you've changed, and if people think that you're more confident and you're more this, and you don't have time for liars anymore. So celebrate that. Thank God. I don't want a broken foundation anymore. I'm tired of wasting my time with people that think it's okay to just get by on lies. It's not okay. And I'm saying that to the government. I'm saying that to everybody that was involved in my life. I'm 50 plus years old, and I don't have any truth about who I am and who the seeds of the parents are, with actual truth and proof and clarity, other than what God gives me. And God is going to make sure that it's going to be left for humanity to see who comes through in humanity to clear their karma. God would have given me the answer already, but it's not God's job to do that. It's the people that have been here fucking me over. Who's going to do right? Who's going to make their karma right? Who's the one that's going to bring the information? Who's the one that's going to bring my money back? Who's the one that's going to bring the time back with my kids? Who's the one that's going to bring the heal the PTSD? Who's the one that's going to heal the memories of all the suicide impalements and the hate impalements and the nothing impalements and the take yourself out impalements and sacrifice impalements? Who's going to heal that? I've already carried the load. I've already done it. I've already transmuted it. So nobody has an idea of what I go through in one day. I hear it all. I feel it all. The government needs to make right. The people that have done wrong, they need to make it right, or your karma will not be. Your karma will not be cleared unless you take it upon yourself with the purity of your heart to not see another person be harmed. That's oneness. And then God will come forward and God will clear the way. You will see miracles happen when you live from a purity of heart, because God knows that you have awakened to God within. That purity of heart is your God within. When somebody asks you to be honest and truthful, that is your God within saying, you don't deserve a lie, I'm going to tell you the truth. And what can I do to make it better? Wouldn't you want that? Wouldn't you want somebody telling you that the person that you said cared about you was fooling around with 3 or 4 other people, even if it was one person? They'd been lying to you for how long? And in a closet for how long? They didn't trust you to be a friend and say, I want to explore other things. Is it okay if I just explore these things? And then you make out a responsible plan so that your body is held safely instead of in lies and in jeopardy of being infected. Can't responsible conversations like that take place when you care about somebody? You say you care about them? Or is it just a selfish act? I'm empowering everybody that shares our videos. Empower all children and all people and all beings. It's okay that you explore who you are sexually. You have to heal what is there. You have to allow yourself the translateral information and energy of going back and forth to divine feminine, divine masculine. You have to heal it when those cycles of ascension come forward. You're going to be okay being attracted to somebody of the same sex somehow, whether you say you got nice muscles there, it looks great. It's okay, that's okay. It doesn't mean you're gay, and there's no judgment or discrimination against that. You have to be able to feel what you need to feel and move on, and allow the energy to be moved. Just allow the energy to be moved. There's no judgment. There's no cyclical anything where you gotta be this way or that way. And then there's programs and agendas that force you to think about who you are and to challenge your sexuality and then to rip it apart and to deconstruct it and dissect it. That's abuse. That's malicious and horrible, inhumane abuse, cruel and unusual. I experienced it. And it was horrible. It's like forcing projected mind thoughts on you as if you're like you know that you're heterosexual and you know that you enjoy men, but you're having impalement of sexual thoughts. You're gay, you like women, and all of these things just being forced in your head. That's how the children nowadays feel, and that's why there's so many people going through so much questioning and BS. Yeah. God called it mind scraping. They wanted to scrape your mind of who you thought you were, and they wanted to reprogram you. It was a reprogramming attempt. And they still do stuff on my chakras because they don't want me to keep speaking truth, but they're not my compass. The Canadian and US government is not my compass. No, my compass is God. Thanks very much. If you're placed before me, I'm going to say what God wants me to say, because you're not being godly. Attacking one divine feminine healer that's never done anybody harm anywhere, has never even hurt a single soul on this planet, has never harmed anybody, besides calling a truth out that's absolutely truth. And if that other person gets hurt feelings by it, it should have been said a long time ago. Get healed. Because when a divine feminine says no, it means no. It doesn't mean you keep pressing her. It doesn't mean you keep doing sex magic on her. It doesn't mean that you keep doing things on her to make her feel bad about herself because she's actually done something that's good for her. Why don't you be happy for her? Why don't you be proud of her? Why don't you lift her? Why don't you protect her? Because that's what men are supposed to do. Healed men. Men that actually take up the divine staff of the fifth dimension. Men are the protectors of life. Are you? Will you protect your divine soulmate, divine masculines, as you're calling in a divine soulmate and a divine heavenly partner and a counterpart? You are meant to explore all things sexuality. That is how you become a master. Explore it. Allow it to live through you and have it move on its way, and then you get to choose who you choose to be. That is sovereignty, and that's up to everybody to choose on their own, because everybody's on a different spiritual path. So allow everybody to be who they are. Stop the judgments. Stop the programs. Stop the agendas. Stop the attacking. Stop the mad scientist. Stop the Epstein BS, mad scientist BS doctors that don't know what they're doing, but they want to study celestials. Stop it. It's illegal, and you'll get so much karma you'll never come out. Stop studying us like we're little lab rats. We're not. We're absolutely beautiful beings, and we're meant to come out and be beautiful who we are. Exactly who we are. Not be ostracized children because we say things that are just so out of the real, and we predict things before they even happen. So why don't you just catch up? You could just catch up. You could just be more intelligent. You could stop being criminals. You could just catch up. It's an option. I'm not going to be ostracized anymore. That's you, it's not me. And we're meant to be divinely aligned in our own unique soul's blueprint. And each of us have a different walk. We have a different speech. We have a different say. We have a different duty, a different excitement, a different creativity, a different expression. It's meant to be that way. Stop comparing yourself to anybody else. It's not a race. It never will be. There is no competition in ascension. There is no competition in spirituality, people. If you're wondering what other people do, if you're wondering if you're always looking at your neighbor, if you're always looking at your neighbor and you think you call yourself spiritual, you're not. You need to go heal. And divine masculines, we ask you one time, as you're approaching a divine soulmate and a counterpart, it is the responsibility for both of you to protect each other so that your foundations are unbreakable between the two of you, so that it doesn't matter what tests and what temptations each of you are sent, you will protect it. You'll be silent in the inner protection of your love for each other and all the cosmic realms that you walk upon, because your loving foundation here will set examples for all others. You are meant to protect the life that you honor. And if you honor and protect that life, it will be given to you tenfold. That is entering into the heavens, dear lighted ones. How many of you are protecting life? Anything that is before you that is seen as struggling, stop and help it. There are tests put on your path every day, whether it's a struggling insect, whether it's a struggling bird, or a dog, or a child, or a divine feminine that says enough is enough. I'm tired of being fucking abused. My voice is my voice. My mind and my intelligence is mine. I am a great leader. I'm a great healer. When will I be supported, protected, and lifted? Because this planet needs it. And if it's not done on the human side, hath God will do it, and hath gavel will fall. Guilty verdicts are already being read. And if you choose not to make it right, you will be found guilty and you will take your time in sentencing. You've all chosen your path. You never met me. I never met you. I don't even know you. And you've impaled such hate and harm, destruction, derailment, sabotage to my life. And my finances are a mess that will take me months to heal, let alone my family that needs to be healed. It's going to take a lot longer than a couple of months. But nobody cared about the weight that I carried for every lie that was told, every selling, every malicious attack, every sacrifice. I had to transmute it while all of you laughed and partied on my money while I sat homeless. Every night I sit homeless. Every night. And you don't think about it, but some of you will be homeless just so that you can have that experience and be godly. And you can sit and say, God and I can get through this. And I know every morning I'm going to wake up and I'm going to be okay. God will get me through. I've got legions protecting me. And even if they're little men in their little black cars sit in the little seats and they pretend that I don't see them, and they pretend that they're being all secretive and they're just sitting there, you're still doing karmic acts and you're being karmic and you're being small and cowardly. Because when you could have done right, you didn't. And when you can do right, you don't. Are you protecting life? You're not waking up in any way. You're still being you. So you be you and I'll be me. And I will never, ever change from being authentic, starseed, divine, graceful, goddess-like, and gorgeous, because I get to. And I'm balanced in all of my energies, and divine masculines, those that choose to walk beside me, shoulder to shoulder and foot in foot. I ask that you protect me. And I will protect you and your soul and your spirit. And you will have such grace from my energy and my vibration and my codes and my core vibration of who I am across the multiverse. And isn't that enough? Or is there something more superficial that is your compass? What is your measurements? What are your measures? Because there's a lot of people that didn't find any good in me until other people did. Does that mean that you cared? You only care when other people find me attractive. You only care when other people find me important. You only care when other people find my speech important and intelligent. Well, all of you stole and hid and defamed me and betrayed me behind my back more times than can be counted. Then you laughed at me and you said I was crazy. Tried to fill out false POAs. Who's crazy now? What is your measure? Do you only like somebody because others do? Or is it a calling of your heart to stand up and do something that is righteous? That's nobility. That's nobility, is when you do something when nobody else sees or knows, and you just do it because you do, and it's right. Nobody sees you move the wormies or help the animals or leave $5 when somebody needs it. You just do. That's nobility. Divine masculines, where is your nobility? Some of you have practiced it for so long and you've never been recognized. I recognize you and your hearts are pure and solid. And it doesn't matter if you've been called sensitive or strange or awkward. Keep being that. It's what the world needs. Because there's a lot of starseeds that will look up to you. Because you're the ones that have never touched on children. You're the ones that haven't taken advantage of their light or their innocence. And you will be lifted. You will be the cornerstones of new temples. That's noble. Where you don't need a lot of money, and you don't need a fancy name, and you don't need a prestigious title of a court that doesn't seem to bring justice to anybody. What's the point of having human rights laws if nobody's absolutely following it and supporting it and lifting it and honoring it? I've been coming forward with the same story for years. Where's my human rights? The police stations have known about it. There's enough evidence. Look at the financials. My accounts sit with nothing for years and years and years and years and years and years and years at a time. And yet another accounts and other people that say they don't have anything and they're purging on their financial statements with Revenue Canada, they've got 5 and 10,000 going through every other day. Where's the money coming from? Is anybody asking these questions? I did, and nobody cared. Okay, so how many people were sacrificed between the first time that I asked and now? God's showing me a number. You don't care. I'm not going to give it to you. How many babies will be shuffled, just like I was? How many birth information is going to be fabricated just like I was? And how many of these babies are going to have secret agents follow them for the rest of their life and sabotage them and see how many magic spells they can take and hexes and curses and how much abuse they can take? How much molestation they can take before they're deconstructed and made into a little weapon? How many of these babies? Now you tell me that's nobility. There is no law in any universe that says that's okay, and you all know it. But instead of making right, discreetly and honorably, as your badges and your uniforms dictate, and as the oaths that you have taken dictate, and the very songs of your country dictate, BS. And you know I'm calling it, because all you had to do was bring truth and make it right. And may the children of today do far better than we have ever done. Because the discrimination and the crucifixion of Jesus, I wore it hundreds of times over. We haven't grown that much. So how may we from this point forward, dear lighted ones, know that unity consciousness is our saving grace? That is eternal life. That is God and God of all things of all times. And there's been much misinformation, much misguidance, much wrongdoings in the blasphemy of those that say they know God and don't. Those that say they act on the behalf of God, and they absolutely don't. They don't know alignment if it hit them in the face. They don't call God in with their breath. They don't seek the feeling of the Shekinah or the Sophia. They don't seek the feeling of anything because their hearts are closed. And they cannot feel anything if their chakras are closed. And that, my friends, is not godly. We're moving into a new understanding and interpretation of the omnipresence. God is all life and life is all God. And if your chakras are closed, there's no way you can say you know God. And that is a new rule for 5D Earth. You can know the Bible, and you can know words that have been written about a God from 3D perspectives that were channeled from very brilliant people back in 3D. But from here on out, God is felt, God is an essence, God is all life, God is the quark, God is the galaxy, God is the multiverse, God is the thing that makes all things happen. God is the miracle of life through the DNA, through the coding, through the mysteries of your coding that match directly with your soul's blueprint and all the other aspects that you have ever had in any form, in any planet. And you tell me that that's not God. And I'm only here today because of God, and my intention with God, and my song with God, and my alliance with light. Because I am worthy of receiving what I have earned, and the voice and the speech of God that will assist many in transcending darkness and shadows and entities and evil that try to take their soul out in the middle of the night when they've not been told or taught any differently, because somehow, some way, light wisdoms are not being taught everywhere. And everybody will go to sleep every night with whatever they have done and chosen to control and dominate, to thwart and manipulate, to make right or not, to bring truth or not, to sing through the day or not, to say I love you, to come forward no matter how hard it is, and bring truth and righteousness because you don't want it dumped on your children or grandchildren when you could have done right, but you just chose not to. What is nobility to you, dear lighted ones? Being psychic and being attuned and being aligned is the divine feminine energy, and everybody has access to it. Male body or female, practice it. It is the healing of the divine feminine in our world. Everyone is psychic and everybody has mediumship skills. Practice it, accept it, acknowledge it. The 3 A's of alchemy. We teach very simple things to take you to new levels of being godly. Godliness is allness. It is oneness. And are you? Can you love your body? Can you love your legs and your elbows? Can you love your face? Can you love all that you are? Because all is all. You're not discriminating on your legs or your butt or your boobs or your tummy. All is all. Can you do so with your neighbor? Can you do so with your children? Can you hold your children high without touching them and crossing their boundaries? When somebody gives you a boundary, it means stay within it. It doesn't mean objectify it, subjectify it, attack it, target it, hunt it, does it? There's been so much hunting on this planet. And you wonder why you get bad karma. At some point, somehow, you will sit down and you will learn your lessons of being arrogant and ignorant towards the sacredness of life. It's beautiful. Why can we not celebrate it every moment? We will. We will change all of our systems through light and love. That is our intention. When you go to bed tonight, say our leaders will do what is right. to bring the highest and the best for all peoples and all lands. Our children will have clean water and clean air, and we will have great gardens. Present this to yourself every night, and your cells are listening, and so too it shall be. Your connection with God is. The omnipresent is listening, dear lighted ones, and we love you. Thank you, dear lighted ones. Anybody that would like an ascension session, I love you, I love you, I love you. I love you, 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 I love you. Anybody that would like to book an ascension session or a collaboration, please connect with my PayPal. A 90-minute session is $250 US. 4 for 45 is $550 US. Thank you to my sweet ones that are always with me and wishing me love and luck and blessing me. Thank you so much. I love you. Those that would like to do right, take your confessions to the authorities. I don't need them anymore. Everybody's forgiven. Those that owe me money, you'll do whatever you need to do. You'll be guided by source. There are some that will connect with me for new collaborations, new systems, new medical, new everything. So everybody's going to be needed. And so please, please, please share your authentic voice, share your authentic voice, share your authentic voice. When you do, it gives room for other people to do as well. It's all about truth and authenticity from here on out, dear lighted ones. I love you. I love